Welcome to hour 8 of Drawing with Dads.
We only have an hour left.
We only have an hour left. I actually think we would be cut off at 8 hours. That's a terrible intro. Welcome to Drawing Dads episode, I think officially 3.
Yeah, I think but 4.
Unofficially 4. There was
Google
a proto
it, quick.
episode.
Google it.
It says it up there, I think.
Okay. Let's
I was
bring it.
3 like crazy. I sent out flyers, rented boards. What are you guys doing?
Why did I rent that giant billboard?
Yes. But we are here. Hi, I'm Wesley Hall. Let me write Drawing with Dad so people know where they are in case they are somehow lost.
They might be lost.
You never know when they're lost. How did they get here? How did you get here? I don't know. So we're Drawing with Dads, the podcast about drawing, or live stream about drawing with dads. I'm Wesley Hall from Nameless PCs. And you guys can go and introduce yourself whenever you feel ready.
Whenever you're ready.
Whenever you're ready.
I am Nick. This is all I do.
This podcast.
It's an important job, Nick.
He sits around and waits for every two weeks.
I enjoy drawing with these guys. It's fun.
You're our Porthos.
Yeah.
I am a little obscure there. I don't know. How many
I didn't get it. I will.
Well, Alexandra Dumas.
I am Stephen McGee of raindogcomic.com, and you can follow me on Twitter at raindogcomic.
Boom.
Oh man, you are a pro at this.
He's got it
Yes.
down.
I'm just better than last time. That was just like a major, I feel like, ball drop on my own.
You know, and you're so good at introductions in real life.
Oh yeah.
You know?
There have been so many times I've said, "Hi, my name is Wesley," and then they go, "Leslie?"
That's so perfect.
It's just like it was like a running gag. I did a AmeriCorps, so it's a 10-month program where you kind of go out and do helpful things, like Peace Corps, but for just the United States. And it happened at least 3 times where I would introduce myself to a new thing, to a new group, and be like, "Hi, I'm Wesley," and they'd be like, "Leslie?" and then everyone would laugh.
I remember I always got that in school. There would always be, whenever they would read my name, Stephen with a PH, they'd always say Stephanie.
Yeah.
I hated that. I would always correct them like, you gotta be kidding me, right?
Inexcusable.
Inexcusable.
It's like adding like 3 syllables. What is that?
Yeah, I know. I had my pencil-thin mustache that everybody grows during puberty, you know? I'm like, does this look
I
like
still can't grow one.
Dude, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Because it was already full and luscious. But,
When a Pruitt male is born, he has glasses and a goatee.
Ouch. I feel really bad for the Pruitt women.
Instantly. Yeah, it's like, sorry.
Sorry about
I
that.
gotta deal with it. Sorry. I figured a fist pump would be good. That's what I would do if I were writing a flying pencil. By the way, this would be the whole frame of what I'm drawing.
yeah.
That might make more sense now.
Share with the class now.
Possibly. You gotta make sound effects while you draw.
It's important. It's the most important.
Yeah.
So, what's going on?
What sad things happened to you guys this week?
Happening?
Oh man, big stuff happened with us.
Oh no. What happened here?
Are we doing that?
We've had baby steps. The child has taken her first steps.
Nice.
Unassisted, unencumbered by adult hands. The best part is that it was towards me. She toddled.
Oh,
She toddled right towards me.
toward you, her favorite parent.
Yes, obviously. That's the only thing it could mean.
And I was holding a candy bar at the time.
It didn't, I mean, it helped that I put her down and was 2 steps away, but,
Our big hurrah, man, we're like body training like crazy. And so we had this huge anxiety about taking him anywhere. Our oldest son, because, we still, like one time we were in Costco, and I'm not going to go into details, it was pretty bad. So, like, we didn't want that to happen again, and actually the whole time he kept it together, and it was great.
Oh,
Danger in public.
Dang.
Yeah, no, he was like,
I understand.
Take me to the bathroom, and I was like, yes. You cry a little.
Success.
It happened.
This is what.
Dad, why are you crying? Nothing, son.
I'm just so proud.
Here's some toilet paper.
I think that my youngest, we are finally successfully getting her off of formula.
Oh, nice.
Which will save me hundreds of dollars per month, which is wonderful.
Yeah, we just did that.
Dad win.
There you go. We just did that a while ago.
You may say, like, so what? Am I gonna like beef up their college fund? No, that's more scotch. That's more video games. That's more.
It's the Scotch Fund. The Scotch and Formula Fund are the same thing.
When she's older, I'll explain this.
Look, rule number 1 of dadding here.
Look, you depleted the Scotch Fund, but I love you.
So get a job.
It's okay.
You see what I had to deal with for you?
Dad, is this why you won't give me an allowance? Yeah.
You've already used it all up. You actually owe me money.
But the middle boy on potty training is still in the air. It's a slow process.
Our daycare was like, hey, let him run naked around the house for a whole weekend. And we did it the first weekend. I was like, that was dumb. Because he pretty much ruined our couch, and it was okay.
Nice. See, that's the thing that I find, that's the only time he's responsible with it, is if he is just completely bare from the waist down.
If everyone can see you do it.
He's like,
any shame.
If he's in underwear, he's like, awesome, I got something to be into. This is great.
This is why adults love underwear.
Yeah, this is why. I'm like, how can you do this? This cannot be comfortable. He just doesn't care. It's like, all toddlers are nihilists. I keep thinking there's a good comic in that about toddlers being nihilist.
I could see that.
Because he totally is. He just doesn't care. He's like, sure, I'll just be on myself. What's it matter? It's just red in tooth and claw, Dad. We're just peeing.
I realized I made the mistake of only sharing just Nick's screen, so everyone has just been watching Nick draw this whole time.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
I'm apologizing.
You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah. I mean, it was good, so it's definitely worth it.
I'm glad that you all were able to be enlightened by this today.
Yeah. That was a hosting error on my part. I fixed it. Let's see. There's some people in the chat. So
and then instantly all the viewers disappeared.
Yeah.
When my screen went away.
It was only for you. That was all they wanted. They're all those here for.
What do you got in the chat?
Let's see. We got 4 watching now. Shannon still says hey. Duel for Food says woo dads. Hello.
Yes.
Hey, Megan, what's happening?
Dad time.
And then Shannon Steele also says, hit us up with your best puns. So, I'll let you guys go first. I feel like I'm more of a pun in the moment type of guy myself.
Oh, I got some ready. Wait, is it for our theme today? Like our theme?
Yeah, let's do it. Whatever you suggest, we'll draw.
Set that phaser to pun.
Yes. There you go. Star Trek pun right off the bat.
Set it.
Set it.
Everyone I have mentioned that to thinks that is just a delightful thing. The idea of having an entire fanzine of Star Trek comics.
Yes, I think it would be great. Now,
brilliant.
They may come and sue us, but, they can take our $10,
Yeah, I know.
You can take our $10, but you can never take our freedom.
Look, I made almost enough to buy a Coke with this.
Like, I better get a tip.
Oh my, so what are you guys doing right now? Crazy looking monsters. And drawing with that.
I'm still on the drawing with Dad's main page. I'm behind.
I love that. It's happening.
It's happening. I forgot I had wrote that. No,
I drew Jean-Luc this week, but I have 0 puns.
Is it so? Maybe it's Star Trek puns. There you go. We'll run with this thing.
Oh, ready? Is that what we're doing? I've got like 4 ready.
That's
Dude,
unfair. I
you
feel
came prepared.
you did.
I really I thought we were committed. I thought it was like Star Trek puns. Get ready.
Guys, I am throwing down.
Killing Family. Put it on the billboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drew Jean-Luc in Data and Mr. Spock this week, but that's about it.
That's good. I shared my old Wesley Crusher pun that I did as a comic a while ago.
Let's see here. What am I gonna do?
I should find that. Let me see. I bet you I can actually find that real quick. What month did I draw it? Did I do it on this computer is the real question. So, how's everything else going, guys?
Great, man. Trips this week. Wesley, that was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Funny, dude. The dad one. That was great.
I really liked it, and then I was just like, this is gonna kill on Reddit, and then it did nothing. So you take the good, you take the bad.
Yeah, Reddit's kind of a weird beast anyway. Some days it's like I think you're subject to like what's going on in the world at the time.
Yeah, I think I did the wrong time too. Sometimes on like a Saturday or like a Thursday they just kind of crush and fall apart. I can't find my comic on here. It doesn't really matter.
I've noticed like I never do anything solid on Friday ever, like anywhere on any site. And I have no idea why.
You think that's just people not being there? How about Saturday? Does Saturday hit for you?
Yeah, Saturday. Monday is like the best for me. I think people just don't want to be at work, so I think they check my comics.
Yeah.
It's like Friday they're too busy, getting plastered and watching 80s horror movies. Oh, that's just me. That's just me.
Whoops. Your Friday?
Whoops. That's just me.
Yesterday I had the saddest Friday. I fell asleep by like 9:30 watching Netflix. I was like, I'm gonna do some client work. I'm gonna like update my Tapastic, and then I was just asleep. I was down and out.
That's awesome.
It was totally like a dad.
See, to me, that sounds like a major win.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how often I'd love to watch Netflix? There's just so much going on. It's just tough to like sit down. I mean, really, the only time I really get to is after literally everybody's asleep in my house, and I got to keep it down and put it on closed caption.
Right. That's the worst. I know exactly what you're talking about. You're like, why do they whisper and then suddenly it's really loud? There's no way to win here.
I've been
With
there.
every show. Trying to watch all of Breaking Bad was an endeavor.
I had the problem where it's if it's not something my wife wants to watch, then I'm sorry, I'm getting another phone call. Stop buzzing. If it's not something I have to find time to watch it alone, and when she's not around. I started trying to watch Rick and Morty, but Rick makes this really like disgusting burping noise when he talks.
Yeah.
My wife was like, "You cannot watch that," and I was like, "Understandable."
Oh, that show's great, man. I love it.
I've never seen that one. I'm hearing stuff about it lately where I'm like, I should be watching this.
The writing, I think the writing is what really brings that show in. Like the animation's cool, but some little tiny things kind of piss me off about the animation. But just really dumb. Like their irises are always asterisks.
Their pupil thing is weird. It's gonna take some adjusting.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
What? I have to go
Great
see
show,
this.
though. I mean, I really dig the show. I can't, I've seen the whole first season. It's incredible. But it's just, I can see why it's not for everybody.
Yeah, it's a crazy show. It's a weird, very, very much. Oh, man. I already like yours, Nick. I'm jealous.
Oh, that's great.
I drew that in the doctor's office this week.
You were hopefully not there for anything bad.
I walked in there with a large book and a sketchbook. I was like, "Don't think I'm smart. This is just a giant Batman comic."
Nice.
And it totally was.
I've
I've been reading Nightfall, It's pretty awesome.
I
I
think
have
I've
this,
heard of that one.
like I love drawing in public, but I don't like it when people are like, "What are you drawing? You know, this is great. You're so talented." Like I'm really humble about that type of thing, and then sometimes it builds me up, but other times I'm like, "No, it's nothing."
It's nothing. I
That's
suck at everything. You just like tear it up and throw it away right
Yeah,
there in
you're
front of
like,
you. It's nothing.
please stop paying attention to me.
Just look over there.
Yeah, that's my thing. I don't know. I'm terrified sometimes when people pay too much attention to me. I've worn like a shirt or something where it's like, here's a couple, of compliments, and I'm just like, that's okay. So this shirt's being retired.
Never again.
Never again. This is too much attention. I am not
It's a real
peacock.
conversation starter. Time to take it to Goodwill.
Yeah. Let's see. Shannon asks, is that on Netflix? Rick and Morty? No, I don't think it's on Netflix. I found some on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember Hulu had a lot of Cartoon Network stuff.
Okay, maybe I'll have to check it out.
I don't know if it's on there. Because I've been watching Adventure Time.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, gosh, I love Adventure Time.
I've only seen the first two seasons.
It's like one of those things where it seemed popular enough. I'm like, oh no, am I really going to like this? But I adore it. I just adore it.
I saw
It's like it's so goofy and dumb, but then there's like this like overarching storyline, and there'll just be these moments of like where it's just really like sensitive and sweet and like just kind of stops you in your tracks. It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm emotionally affected by Adventure Time. What am I doing with my life?
What am I doing?
It's a really good show. They even had like an app for a while. There's like this card playing app. It was really good. Card Wars.
They still do. I love that app. And you can buy it. It's actually a game too, so you can buy it.
It was like I remember playing it before, but I remember not being able to ever do well on it because there was always somebody like hacking the game to kill it in points. Like the amount of points were just so ridiculous beyond what could actually ever be achieved. Because I mean, obviously people were just bumping their points up, you know.
Oh yeah.
Some sort of like hack or algorithm. I don't know. And so I was just like, wow, this game. I'm gonna reach a level where I'm just gonna get pissed because I don't know how to hack the game.
Is that when they did like the weekly tournaments or whatever, or like?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a weird Magic game, and then you can like you have so many winning each game gets you so many points or something. And I saw those people. I was able to get into like the top 10 sometimes, but you have to just like that's all you have to do. It's just, like, the number one person always has like a bajillion points, and it's just like, do you not do anything else?
So do you think you could put that on your resume, or?
Maybe. But if you get the good cards, you get like bonus cards. It's a lot like Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was really fun. I really liked it. I have it on my phone as well. I haven't played it in a while.
Wesley, who's like totally friends with Penn Ward.
I saw him once, and I didn't say anything to him.
You saw him, we're barely able to say, I like what you do.
I don't even think I was able to say that. My friend Adam was there, and he was just like, hey, here's Wesley's. He gave him my drawing president's book.
You're like, hi, I'm the socially adept friend.
Yeah,
Let me just say.
Adam is totally the socially adept friend. Like charismatic.
Is that Adam? What's his last name?
Richards.
Richards, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He works for you too.
I have met him before.
You have met him. I remember this.
He started, and I was like, I'm out of here. Screw you guys.
Yeah.
I love what you guys are drawing.
I don't know what I'll even use it for, but I have Jean-Luc. I'm just like, if I draw Jean-Luc, something good will happen.
That's a good place to start.
I've been going back through those on Netflix. They're great to revisit. I haven't watched in years, but I'm like on the second season, and it's all coming back.
I love that show. Yeah, for real.
I didn't realize how much
it came on some local channel growing up, and I watched it like in syndication, and I just adored it.
These hands are bad. Please don't judge me on my hands.
Was that like she has like 2 blobs for a hand? Gosh.
At least you could tell it was a female. That's good.
Shut up, Wesley.
I saw that episode too. It was like season 1. He's like, what the hell?
They all so mad at him, and he's the only one who recognizes that it's not Data.
That's right, yeah.
The innocence of a child.
It was the innocence of a child because he used those words like "don't." Conjunctions. There it is.
Yeah. Contractions.
Yeah, contractions. There it is.
Contraction.
Oh, God.
Conjunction, junction. What's your function? We're gonna sing every school rock song we can remember for the next half hour.
It's actually that one. So
all your fans
in the hour of us.
Something about being a Bill. I don't know.
Yeah.
On Capitol Hill. I remember that.
I just remember the Star Trek episode where like they had to prove that Data was a species.
Yeah.
And
just
do his own. I'm like, what a thing to make an episode of Star Trek about. Kirk is like, I'm gonna hit that chick, and I'm gonna go punch that guy in the face, and I'm gonna karate chop that dude, and I'm just gonna have a drink in like my bathrobe over here.
Not bald.
And Jean-Luc's like, let me prove that this android is. It's just wonderful. And you got Q.
Yeah.
Q.
I didn't realize how many court case episodes there are of the Next Generation. I'm watching season 3, and there's been at least one per season, if not more.
Gosh, I have to start watching these again. Because I started rewatching it in college and then completely abandoned it, and now a decade later.
You could see I'm on season 3.
Pick it up. See, I went through season 2, right? So I can pick up.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe I'll just wait till you guys catch up. And then Trolling with Dad can be our, what episode of Star Trek did we watch this week?
What episode? There was one in the early seasons where they meet, like, this cloud thing. And it's like this face talking out of a cloud. I want to say that's one of the early seasons.
There's the first season where they meet, like, a giant cloud shrimp thing.
Wait, are you talking about the first episode? It was like a jellyfish in space, and
there it is. It was a jellyfish. I forgot if it was like a jellyfish. I thought it was a prawn for some reason.
Oh, geez.
That was like the first episode.
It was something on Station 5. Like,
Farpoint.
Farpoint.
Dude, I'm such a Star Trek nerd, man.
I'm way out
shows. That's one of the shows I remember watching the finale of.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I played that card game they made out of it.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember like if you ever go to like wherever you bought Magic cards, you know, anywhere that sold Magic cards sold Star Trek: The Next Generation card game. You know, me and my buddies like were obsessed with it. Like we collected all the cards. You know, all the Star Trek casts were rare except for like Tasha Yar. Nobody gives a shit about her.
Poor Tasha Yar. That poor actress is still like trying to be like, I'm sorry I left.
Yeah.
Poor Tasha.
She hosted that Trekkies movie, like 1 and 2.
That's been on my Netflix queue forever. Speaking of Netflix, I need to watch that.
It's crazy, but also good.
They made a sequel, right?
Yeah, the sequel is worth watching as well.
I really want to see that. I still have not seen it yet.
Oh man, I need.
You guys are missing out. That was like my first fandom introduction to being like, what are these people?
My brother can like watch any episode of TNG and give you the title of it, you know, like in the first 30 seconds or whatever.
Oh, nice.
It's like, yeah. But I've always been more of a Star Trek than a Star Wars guy, I gotta say.
Me too, man. It's not that I hate Star Wars. It's just
Star Wars is great.
Yeah, it's more like the like. There's just more in depth to me, like the politics and the culture and the There's also not really any drama between the characters, which I remember reading one time. That was like a big hang-up with the writers of the show. They were pissed because they couldn't make all this drama with all, between the cast of Star Trek. They didn't want it, like according to Gene Roddenberry.
Say, look, they live in peace, man. World peace. There's no hunger.
Yeah.
So let me tell you why you're both wrong right now. Why Star Star Wars is far superior on every element.
Yeah, especially when that kid was like pod racing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's the
when that guy
best.
kissed his sister. What's
Oh
that
yeah. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
yeah.
I
And
don't want
then
to hear
it
it from
turned out
you.
they didn't have magic powers. They were just born with like stuff in their blood. It's awesome.
I've been watching these Star Trek Next Generation things, and let me tell you, where is the holodeck operator? Where is that technician? That guy is lazy. I don't think you get to talk about pod racing when Moriarty escapes the holodeck and takes over the ship. You know.
I loved when the holodeck offered, but it was a little bit of a plot device. You could tell sometimes.
Oh boy.
What about
Data
the
with
whole?
Sherlock Holmes? Come on.
Yeah, what about the whole episode where Riker spins in a jazz bar trying to press artificial intelligence with a trombone? That's some Class A writing right there.
Oh
There
yeah,
was-
you know what I did after that? I bought a jazz album. So
It worked. It worked.
There's like a Tumblr called Fashion It So, if I'm not mistaken, that just has all of like the crazy costumes and makeup effects
Oh,
over
yeah.
the years. Yeah, it's pretty special.
Now, it's not to say that Star Trek doesn't have its charm, but there is a lot of like these are bad episodes.
Oh man, some of the stuff is crazy. Yes, and it's just nostalgia that pulls you in. I'm pretty psyched about these new Star Wars films, however.
oh yeah, I will go see them. I do like Star Wars. I really do.
Oh my gosh, I
It's,
cannot wait for these. It's gonna be so good.
They look
Yeah.
really good. I'm trying to avoid too much because I want to be there and just be like in awe of it as it comes out. But
You mean like avoid all the screenshots and all that?
yeah, it always ends up being like, you end up seeing like the whole film before it even comes out, and that's
Yeah.
always really like frustrating me.
You can definitely do that. When I was a kid, you just had a magazine at the supermarket.
Yeah.
If your parents would buy it for you.
Yeah, it's usually like so much harder to get those things.
You know, and I'll just go ahead and throw it out. I'll just go ahead and admit this, that I am excited to see the next Independence Day. I mean,
Oh,
Are they
is that
making
coming
it
out?
Independence Day?
I'll just throw it out there. I don't even know when it's coming out.
Oh
I'm,
man.
I'm throwing it out there. I don't
I'm
remember
in.
if that's a thing.
I'm in. For some reason, I really liked that movie in 6th grade. I don't know.
No,
So
it was
I'm in.
incredible. I remember loving it.
I am in.
Dennis Quaid kind of pissed me off in it. I think it's just like after I got older, like I loved it as a kid, but as I got older, I was like, his death scene was dumb.
Dennis Quaid, what are you doing here?
Wait, Randy Quaid. I'm sorry, Randy.
Oh,
Quaid.
right. Randy.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, don't besiege the name of Dennis Quaid here.
Because we all love Day After Tomorrow.
That's an RV, Clark. All that kind of junk.
There's and
See, Wesley has an actual joke going on right now.
It's so obscure. Oh, I don't think anyone's really like
let's see.
Captain's log.
is gonna get it.
That just makes me happy.
I don't know if I have time to draw mine. Mine's like 3 characters.
Just because you're actually saying it. You're going there. What is the captain's log? Or an actual log?
Well, do you know who the lady is supposed to be? That's the other joke, right?
Oh, let's see. Let me flip back over. I'm seeing a TNG Starfleet uniform there.
Yeah. Well, she's the log lady from Twin Peaks.
You know, I've never seen Twin Peaks.
When she carries a log around and she says stuff like, "Let me introduce you to my log."
It's good. It's obscure, but it's good.
It's one of those things where I'm like, this cracks me up, but no one.
But
no
that's
one.
what we want here. We want the most awkward dad jokes imaginable.
Welcome to it. This is
I just want various scenarios where Wesley Crusher's doing something dumb because he annoys me, and the next panel is just Jean-Luc saying, "Shut up, Wesley." So I just set him up right here and now. Crusher in that effing sweater.
I think it should just be It should just be Wesley Crusher making a pun.
Shut
and then
up,
it's always shut up, Wesley.
That's even better. There's some episode where like you have Wesley Crusher in the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like this big buff blonde guy.
Riker gets powers from Q and uses them to age Wesley Crusher.
That's right.
Wesley Crusher becomes.
And then you compare that to like what Will Wheaton looks like.
It's they're not the same. Uh-oh.
It's just wonderful. Oh no, your horrible face.
No. Sorry, audience. Where'd all the viewers go? I don't know what's worse, my horrible face or a log lady joke.
You guys know, like, that guy, Will Wheaton, like, you ever watch some of his stuff? Like, he does a lot with table games right now.
Yeah, he does a ton. He does the tabletop gaming and everything. Is that show called Tabletop? I think it is. I can't watch it because it's just not as entertaining as I want it to be. Like, I feel like, and not a slight on him. It's just I watch it and I'm just like, no, not my thing, man. Good on you, but totally not my thing.
I think with me on it, it's like whenever I watch it, it's just a lot of people that are trying to, oh my god, what did I do? Ha 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 ha. You know, it's just kind of more of a conversation than it is like instructional or like a real review.
Yeah.
You know?
I kind of want them to go one way or the other, and I think they're just like in the middle. So if they gave up and were just like, we're playing this game and whether or not. But, you know, I'm also not buying a ton of board games, so.
Yeah.
So I could see how like it's helpful if you're buying board games and stuff.
I'm not really a board game person.
What? Leave our podcast right now.
I'm not, but I think I just haven't played the right board games.
What board games have you played?
I have just like, you know, Monopoly and Clue and
yeah, you need to find the right ones. We'll find you the right ones.
dumb crap like that.
You should come over. We should play King of Tokyo.
Because I have a feeling there's a whole world out there that I know nothing about.
You need to find it because it's good, like family game time stuff too.
Yes.
You know.
You guys ever play Settlers of Catan?
Yes, my wife loves that game.
I hear about this game all the time.
I have never played it, but everybody
talks about it. I have no idea what it's even about.
I don't either.
Wesley,
let me just
enlighten us.
So let's see. So they're Settlers of Catan. Each of you plays a settler of this island, Catan, and essentially you claim numbers that are associated with. What's the best way to like wheat resources? Yeah, textile, wheat, ore, that kind of stuff. And so many resources are needed to make like a new settlement, to build a new road.
Oh man, commerce, the ultimate family fun.
Right, so you're going on the
economy.
Island. So you're going on the island and you're trying just to get the maximum amount of victory points to like pretty much like uber settle the colony, and you can get in a variety of ways. But you trade resources, so you have to figure out who to trade with. You know, like how to make sure you're making good trades and that kind of stuff.
Is it like you need more than 2 players?
Yeah, because the second player could just stall you at any moment, you know. If there was only 2 players, you know, that second player could just be like, I won't trade with you, and then it's just you two playing the same game against each other, and it's not as much fun. So you need at least 3. If there's like a power dynamic there, so. There's a card game you can play that has just 2. It's a fun game. I'm not making it sound very fun, but it's fun and pretty easy to get into.
No, man, I'd love to play it. I mean, I see it like in some toy stores whenever we take our boys around. I'm like, you know what? I'm doing it, but I never do.
You should. It's good fun.
I will. It's happening.
There you go. I'm sure there's like a more instructional video online, but it's cool. And you might like what's the other one? I just said it. King of Tokyo, which is good. It's pretty much just like Yahtzee with giant monsters.
That sounds like a good thing.
Yeah, so you all play like a giant monster attacking Tokyo. And So then you roll a series of dice that have like little icons on it, like use radioactive points, or claw attack, or hearts, and you decide how you want to keep them. Is that Gwar in there? Are you doing a Star Trek Gwar joke?
I am.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Finally, someone doing something more obscure than me.
You ready?
Amazing.
Let's see. It's going to be Gworf.
No.
Oh. Oh, that is great.
There we go.
That is great.
So did you get the Laga uniform?
I did get the lobby uniform. Oh no, I clicked it.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Gworf.
Should it be GWARF or ORF?
I don't know if I could explain how happy that makes me for some reason.
But what are the options?
It's just so fun.
Dang it.
Let's see.
This is what happens when I click away from things.
Today's date is the 29th. My wife's birthday is tomorrow.
You got big plans?
No.
Nope, none.
No plans.
What are plans these days? Rated.
Oh, my dad has been out of town. He is my resident child care guy. But he is back as of today. So I'll be like, hey, didn't you miss the kids, Dad? Here they all are while we go to dinner. See you later. I have a feeling this might be happening tomorrow night.
Nice.
So handy. He's retired. He wants to see his grandkids. I don't even have to feel guilty. It's wonderful.
Yes, that's wonderful. They love their time with their grandpa, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, they love it. They just think he's the best. And you're like, oh, that's so sweet. But then you realize it's because he lets them get away with whatever they want.
Yeah, they get away with murder.
They really do. One day Jude was like, Dad, could I have one of those suckers over there? I'm like, no, you can't have a sucker just out of nowhere. You don't need to pump yourself full of sugar. He goes, it's okay. I'll just get one when Pop comes over.
Oh, gosh.
He was coming over later that day.
He already knows the system.
I'm like, I see. Yeah, you're a little too smart, kid.
Your fatal flaw was telling us.
Yes, your fatal flaw is that you're honest. Thank you for being honest. But it's your flaw. But actually, it's a good thing. But now you're busted.
Nerd. No, take him down a peg.
Just call your kid a nerd.
I call him a punk and stuff like that. It's fun.
It seems like good times.
And then I do it because then he'll call me a punk, and it's hilarious and fun.
Oh, yeah.
He knows I'm kidding. He's laughing. I taught him sarcasm at a very early age.
I like that he would call you a punk back. He's like, I am a punk, thank you. Thank you for appreciating it.
He's like, I am a punk, you old square. They still call people squares? Or is that just yet another sign of how square I am?
I don't know.
I think that's what that is.
I think everybody's bringing everything back.
Yeah. If people aren't calling them squares now, they will sing.
They will.
Then you can say you invented that on our live stream.
Yeah.
Oh, I brought that back.
We are setting the trends. I really should label my layers, huh?
No, it's overrated.
I was gonna slap whatever on there.
Here we are. I'm gonna try to color this and ruin it.
Shut up, Wesley. I really like the way that Picard looks.
It does. It came out great.
It's a good, severe-looking Picard.
Let's see what we got.
I like how you do the professional like colors on the side.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's because I get to dinking with like multiply and stuff, and then it's not the same color.
Oh yeah.
So I have to hold on to the original. I always forget to do it, but you know.
You're gonna pretend that I know I'm doing too. Yeah, look, I did the same thing.
Yeah, look at me. It's like I'm really painting.
Like I'm a genius.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's just, of course, one line I don't like.
There's always gonna be that one line.
And it ruins my life.
That's a bit intense, but okay.
Yeah, right. Life is good.
Life is good.
Grocery stores, children, medicine,
Is this what's happening in your life?
Star Trek. It's good. These are all the
Good.
things that are good about life.
These are all the things. I'm going freelance very soon.
Dude.
Oh God, it's insane.
Dude, have you panicked yet?
I mean, a little.
How many times have you panicked? Maybe that's real.
God, there was a day I was sitting there and just like, I'm going to vomit. It was like a Tuesday night, and I was just sitting there like, I'm going to vomit.
Like, well, I've arrived.
Yeah.
You know, my friend that went freelance full time, like, it changed his life all for the better. He's the man. Oh yeah, he's doing all. It's like changed him in so many good ways he probably doesn't even realize.
I'm really excited about it. So
that will be you.
I can't. Yeah, I was that way for a little bit, and then shored up some other stuff, and was just like, you know what, I'm gonna be fine. And if worst comes to worst, I go back to the workforce. It's not the worst thing that ever happened.
Right.
But does it let me be,
I mean, even if you got more time with the kid for a while she's little, it would be worth it.
Exactly. Like, that's worth almost anything.
It would be worth it.
Sentimental dad moment. There you are.
You might do something else later, right? But
yeah,
they're only like that one time.
Yeah, you only get so much time,
Oh, I guess we haven't done this since my oldest started preschool.
Oh wow.
So that's totally a thing. And I tell you, he came back the first day different, in a good way. I mean, he's just acting so much more mature to be around kids his own age and learn phonics and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're still taking her to daycare 3 days a week just because it's
awesome. Yeah.
That'll let me do work, and it lets her get that, like, I think she picks up a ton from the other kids.
Oh gosh, I tell you, he would get bored, man. He was bad behavior sometimes is just him being bored.
Yeah, I think it's totally good. Yeah.
His brain is just moving so fast, and he just like needs stuff to do.
And I'm sure it's stuff the other two can't do at that time.
Right. Right. Well, he and his brother are such good buddies, but I mean, you're still like peeing in your pants. There's a little bit of a divide.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. There's just a little bit of a divide.
Just a hair.
Yeah.
Let's see. You're checking in with the chat. How's everyone doing?
Oh, I need to look what you guys are drawing.
Let's see. Shannon says it is called Tabletop, talking about Will Wheaton, and he also does a show called Titan's Grave. That's an RPG. I haven't seen that one at all. I've heard a little bit about it. I'm behind the times.
Steven is drawing the spiked helmet. This is wonderful.
Oh yeah, I can't get the. Well, I was debating whether or not to color it. We'd color these two, or like go full on and add another gore.
I was watching all this stuff about the Borg this week, trying to think of something, and I just got nothing.
Would you say it was a boring activity?
I would say that it was futile.
There you go.
There you go. Did you see Steven's board joke? I think that was. That was the
Borg with a lisp.
That was the height of Borg humor.
Really fun. Gosh. Well, I'm a big fan. My dad even loved that. That's how I knew I did well.
Maybe I'm entertained too easily, but that was just nice.
Some people started quoting like ADA regulations for hiring people and how you can't fire someone for a lisp. Some dude brought it up. He's like, well, obviously the Borg aren't ADA certified. I'm like, yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, you also can't, assimilate an entire species.
Might not be.
I'm sure that's going to be more of a problem than it is firing people because of a list.
Guys, which candidate's going to speak out against this? I bet you could convince Donald Trump that that's important.
Yeah.
He's like, the Borg, they're just a bunch of bullies. I won't stand for it.
You're fired, Borg.
They're immigrants. They're coming in.
And there's my pun. Donald Trump versus a Borg.
Donald Trump.
I did do this one with Data and Spock each being perplexed by each other's horrible hairstyles.
Oh, there you go.
That would work.
Nice.
That would work.
Now, do you remember the episode of Star Trek where Data tries a beard?
Yeah. That's the same one where they're trying to prove that he's a race, actually.
It's at the very beginning, and they just kind of like I feel like it's like the throwaway skit at the beginning.
Wah, wah, wah.
Everyone's like,
It's so funny because he's like, Wesley, when I stroke my beard thusly, no, Geordi. And he does this whole like stick about it. I'm like, that's really good. Why is this not funny?
There's
There's
a Twitter account that is not really. I don't think it's updated super regularly anymore, but it was something to the effect of like season 9 or season 10 of
Oh yeah, I remember
TNG,
that.
and it's nothing but like ridiculous plots, and it's stuff like that. There's a lot of like what Data and Geordi go on an adventure kind of plots. It's pretty special.
Cruising for ladies.
I would recommend. Yeah, it's junk like that. I find your hair illogical. Wah, wah, wah. I was thinking about doing this one as vector.
Whoa.
Pull something new on Drawing with Dads.
Whoa. Whoa, vectors. What are you working in? Photoshop right now?
I'm in Photoshop right now. I would do that in Affinity Designer. I don't know if you've used that guy.
I have not used Infinity Designer.
I really, really like it. I have grown very fond of it. Gotta say.
What is it? Tell me more.
It's so it's a vector drawing program that just built by this company, I think in the UK. It's like $50.
Nice.
So I bought it because I didn't want to pay for Illustrator every month. And
you have to pay every month for that?
it's just so fast.
For Illustrator?
Yeah, the
Creative Suite.
Yeah, the newest suite. You do it. You do like a month per student. Though the nice thing is that you do get like all of the. So if you want to play around in After Effects, like you have it, you just have to download it.
Yeah, which my wife does photography, so we use their photo.
Is that
deal,
Lightroom?
and it's only $10 a month. Like it's Photoshop plus Lightroom.
Okay.
Which is pretty reasonable. $10 a month for that. It's great. A client sent me some really like not very good photos.
Oh no.
And I got her to edit them all.
Nice.
For a website. I'm like, this is awesome. Just put them all in Dropbox and went, will you clean these up for me? And she's sweet, and she did.
Oh.
But man, Affinity Designer I have grown super fond of. Like, you don't realize how slow Illustrator is until you use something really fast, like Affinity Designer. Affinity Designer, buy it today.
Yeah, I was gonna say, thanks for turning in with Drawing with Dads.
Please buy Affinity Designer. And it also does weird stuff like it can export to a PSD. Like, it can open a PSD faster than Photoshop.
What?
It's kind of crazy.
Can you export EPSs out of it?
You sure can.
That has been my only problem.
You can export to all kinds of crazy formats.
Does it register pin pressure weight?
You know, it does.
What?
I have yet to play with their vector drawing, but it does.
Nice.
That it does.
That's been my thing. That's why I came into, Manga Studio, was that you get the vector lines.
Yeah.
And then you can do the colors underneath, but you can't export as an EPS, and it makes me mad.
I've been doing. I'll do my inking in it, and then paint in Photoshop. I really like the vector thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that when I screen share, for some reason I can't have it screen share just that app. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was a thing on Macs. I'm not sure what the deal is. There's just some apps that don't auto just screen share.
Yeah, because I have Clip Studio or whatever, you know.
Yeah. I don't know what the deal is. I know.
It's just slightly different in some mysterious way.
Yeah, I know Paxton and Woody had that same problem. And I think I tried to do something and I can stream one of my programs
Jean-Luc.
when using a Mac. So
That's
maybe
great.
I'll give her red glasses a little more.
So
It will read better.
I'm going to switch over to Affinity Designer and do this then. Do some vectors. That'll be fun.
I'm excited to see this.
But yeah, I have grown quite fond of it though. I really have. And it just does little things. You know, like what a pain in the butt it is when like Illustrator wants to snap to the grid plus like 0.01. You're just snap to the effing grid.
Yes, I know what you're saying.
It never happens in Affinity Designer. Always snap.
Well, this might be a reason alone to buy that program.
For real.
I feel like it's just become boring graphic design talk now with dads. So.
It's pretty awesome. I am a fan. I'm a fan. If you do vector work, it has a really good SVG export for web, you know. So for my web work, it's solid. Let's see. I need to find my files.
Do you do that like designing sites?
Oh, I think SVG is the best thing ever. I love it. I love it. I use it all that I can.
They're nice.
I've done like the icon font thing, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm all in on SVG instead. I love me some SVG.
Oh, nice. I have to check that out.
Vectors. Doesn't work in IE8, of course, but you know.
What does?
You know, there's ways to work around that. Let's see. Boom, Affinity Designer. Share. Wesley switches over to my screen and doesn't do any work.
Yeah, I just watch you for the next.
Oh, God.
Oh, Nick, I almost bought those. I actually was going to do that, but I ran out of time because my son. Those brushes.
Oh, yeah, that animator brush. That's what I did Jean-Luc with right there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and that one's a pay what you want right now. So.
Yeah, I'm going to do that probably after we get off.
Oh, yeah, it's fun. You can get like a colored pencil kind of deal, kind of look with it. It's fun.
Oh, nice.
I know it's pay what you want, but like still, I feel like there should be some kind of customary. You know, what would be customary to kind of like pay for it? I don't want to be that guy that's like, here's 50 cents, you know?
You know, like his biggest pack that has like several hundred brushes is only like $12.
Okay.
So, you know, if you threw a couple of dollars out there, that would probably work.
I was thinking maybe like 3 or 5 or something.
Oh, yeah. Something like that would probably be good, I think. It is a nice brush. I like it a lot. I likes it.
Ooh, looks like you're using a pen tool. I am just staring at your screen now. This is terrible.
Ooh. I just had kind of this vision of just having like a single, just having this single width stroke for these. For this one in particular with the two of them. They're such rigid characters, right?
Yeah, I get you. Oh, look at that line weight. That represents the state of the characters.
But they have like some vector brush stuff that I have yet to use. I really need to.
Me too.
It's supposed to do the pressure sensitive and all that. So
nice. Yeah, I want to see that in action.
How'd you find out about this?
Just being web design nerd guy, it just came up in my reading and stuff. I'm a dad. Get off my lawn. I use RSS.
Oh yeah.
Get off my lawn.
Oh my gosh. You
know what still works, kids? RSS. You know what's gone? Friendster. Where's your little Friendsters now?
Now you got your MySpaces and YouTubies.
Where are they? YouTube. I got choked up on that. You know what? That's what we're on right now, though. So.
I'm sure it will be gone within like a month. It'll just be like, here's a new program. Like, oh man, I don't want to learn anything new.
But I was a little lukewarm on this at first because I am a curmudgeon and I am so fluid with Illustrator, but it has won me over.
Has it?
It has.
I think that's what's going to happen with me manga. Is as soon as I get that, as soon as I break down and buy it, whenever it's on sale again, I'm just going to pretty much make the switch.
Yeah, I've gotten to doing all my inking in there. I'm getting more used to it too.
I like it.
There's a guy, what's his name? I just want to say his name right because I want to be respectful, but Krishna? Is that it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who does the PC weenies?
Yeah. Do you know he knows our mutual friend Rob?
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he was, maybe still is a teacher in Florida. And so...
No freaking way. That is so cool. But I saved, he posted his Manga Studio brush settings one day, and I just kind of saved it. Like, I'll buy that program someday. I just saved it in Pinboard. I was like, oh yeah, so I pulled that up this last week and used that for my latest comic that I still haven't colored because I've been doing a freelance project. But doing that has won me over to their pen tool even more, just to really go in the brush settings and kind of mess around.
Nice.
I am a fan.
Nice.
Have you
like you say, there's just something about the vector thing that is nice.
I love the vector thing. I'm like, I could resize this drawing. Like, I mean, there's some color deficient,
yeah,
stuff, but I could go back and recolor it if it's worse, but I don't have to redo it.
Just the thing about, like, that you can overdraw a line and, like, chop it off is just money to me.
Yeah, my only fault short, the only thing I'm, like, upset about is if it could export to EPS, I don't even know if I would open Illustrator ever again.
Oh,
it doesn't export to EPS? I did not realize that.
It does not. That's like
the whole thing is it's math, right? The whole vector based is like it's formulaic instead of pixel based.
Yeah, so it makes a series of points that are, marked in like relative terms. This is x.25 from
this
that
is
point.
math with dads.
This is math with dads with art degrees.
Art degrees.
So apologies if I'm getting vector really wrong. So
Steven might know something about that, right? Yeah. Python, I know all about vector magically.
Python?
That's not how that works.
Look, you know one thing on the computers? Can you tell me how Word...
Can you tell me how to do everything on a computer?
Yes.
Oh my god, yeah. It's like, oh my, hey, you deal with data? Fix my printer.
They're not remotely the same.
That's not really like crunching data in a database. It's like plugging a freaking cable into your computer. So.
Yeah, I had to explain Wi-Fi to one of our doctors. He's like, I don't have an Ethernet cable. I was like, you know what? Move,
Let me introduce you. Now go ahead and do that heart surgery, guy who doesn't know what Wi-Fi is.
That seems safe. Oh, no.
So I had this idea for a joke. I did do some lab work during grad school. I stopped doing it once I started dealing with data. But I used to actually deal with samples and pipetting. And the joke is that if you ever watch CSI, whenever they're in the lab, man, it's like rock and roll. It's the sexiest type of. They try and make it look sexy to be in a lab,
Oh, dude, you're blaring the Who.
Yeah.
There's hot chicks everywhere.
Yeah, it's
ridiculous. Shirts. Yeah.
Everyone has a laptop.
More like a real life person.
She's rubbing her chest all over the sample. Yeah. All about that.
That's part of the scientific process, right?
This is very scientific. Yeah.
Hypothesis, chest, materials, condoms.
Totally.
So it's not that at all. It's really boring as hell, and so it's one of the worst parts of the entire field.
Oh my gosh.
Pipetting sucks balls.
Did you do old school pipetting?
With the mouth?
Yeah.
No, that's we deal. So we deal in DNA. There's this whenever you deal a lot with DNA, there's this DNA stain called ethidium bromide, and it actually causes severe brain damage if you inhale it.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
And so they stopped doing a lot of that type of pipetting. Now it's all they have pipetters that they're calibrated heavily down to microliters.
My wife worked at a lab, and she said there were some of the older guys there who remember pipetting by mouth.
Yeah, that's like an 80s thing. I think 70s and 80s they did that.
Yeah.
Look, you just gargle this hydrochloric acid.
So
you spit it into the test tube.
I feel like we should explain it for people who don't know. It used to be when you wanted to suck so much of a liquid into a tube, you just would actually suck and just hope it doesn't get in your mouth, is my understanding.
That's exactly right.
Like siphoning gas.
Yeah, exactly. So if you wanted to add 3 milliliters of something, you stick it in that whatever that thing is, whether it be acid or whatever, and then you would, and then.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is how science works. Yeah.
That is terrifying. That is terrifying.
Isn't it terrifying?
That chemical makes you forget math. I mean, it's not a good thing.
Yeah. None of that sounds safe at all. Like, who thought this is the only way to transfer liquids?
You're like, no, wait, I should know who you are. I've worked with you for a while. What's your name again? Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
You'd think the whole nature of science would be like, people seem to die and forget things after doing this. Maybe we should do it differently.
Maybe we should do it differently.
Checkmate, scientist.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about science. It's always expanding. All right, I'm going to stop working on my log lady. I think she's good for now.
So, how does one print a fanzine? Oh, wise ones who actually do things outside of a bi-weekly live stream.
Usually DIYs will do it, like DIY printers, Or PODs, I'm sorry, print on demands.
Yeah.
They're like the kind of ones. I do them for my book, the first one I came out with.
I know there's some like the Shack zine. You can just go to a small printer. And what is it, Hank Hill zine? I think the same guy did that, Jason Poland, who does Robbie and Bobby, which is an excellent.
Robbie and Bobby. The title made me laugh. It must be funny.
It's about a boy and his robot. It's brilliant. And
it's so good, man. I love it.
Oh, he's been doing it for like 10 years, and you're just like, it's mind-blowingly good. Probably one of my favorite comics that I own is his stuff.
Oh gosh, I have to check this out.
So he does it. So he would get them just printed, and then you can just get them printed for set amount from your small local printer. Get them perfect bound and everything if you got enough stuff.
Yeah.
And then just sell them at cons and stuff, man.
I didn't do that one, either of those. I did the one that was Polternice. Is that him?
Oh yeah.
But I didn't do the other two. I wanted to partake, especially the King of the Hill one.
I did Shack Scene one, but I did not do King of the Hill. Mainly because sometimes I don't really get King of the Hill, and I don't know, maybe I'm just out on a limb there. Because I also don't get Frasier all the time. So.
That's one I haven't gotten into, King of the Hill. I'll admit it.
I honestly I didn't get it either. My wife loves it, and she kind of turned me onto it in a way. But still, there's some episodes I'm like, this sucks.
Bobby's kind of funny,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's a hick, and his boy is just kind of weird. Okay, cool, that's funny.
I'm down with this.
His neighbor, you can't understand a word he says. That's how I feel, even though I've lived in the South my whole life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, part of me felt like this is just my life.
And then I feel that I'm fairly articulate, and when I talk to people, they never have any idea what I'm saying. I'm like, you're the one I can't understand.
It's all a change of reverse on things.
It makes me rethink my life.
Whoa.
Look, we gotta get his rank right here, okay? Lieutenant Commander.
We actually got to meet James Doohan as a kid. When I was a kid, my dad took me to a couple of cons. The guy who plays Scotty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have to explain that. Come on.
You did for me. I'm sorry. So that thing, I appreciate that.
All for you, man.
That's the only one that I happen to know. So now I've exposed myself. I just remember which one is it? The fourth movie when they're
the whale
traveling, as you do. and he like goes up to their computer and he starts talking to it.
It's computer.
And like, no, you use this, and they give him a mouse, so he starts talking into the mouse. It's great. I'm like, now this is a shtick I can get behind right here.
That one wasn't that good.
No.
That's the one, and when I was a kid, that's the one that was always on like TBS on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like, I always came in, I'm like, they're going back in time to get whale recordings. Like, they don't have whale recordings somewhere. Like,
yeah.
Everything is, no one thought to like, yeah, let's put this on microfilm. We have half an inch somewhere. It always drove me nuts. I was like, why? I don't understand.
And then there was like the fifth one, which was like, wasn't that the one where the thing was like claiming to be God or something?
Yeah, they have to pass the boundary of no return or whatever it's called. The impassable.
And McCoy's like, why would God need a spaceship, Jim?
That's the best
one. Oh, that's right. God wouldn't need a spaceship.
That one was pretty badass, actually. I remember I loved that one.
He made space. Okay, sure. And then
actually, the first one was kind of badass too. The one with like Voyager, you know.
Dude, the plot for that one is bonkers.
Yeah.
Love it. I was reading some article about what is that site called? Wait, but why? I believe it's called. And he's been interviewing Elon Musk about various things. And
Hyperloop guy, the guy from Tesla, I think.
Yeah. And so he was interviewing him about, SpaceX and them wanting to send people to Mars. And he was just doing this overview of all the things humankind has done in space. And it was just so cool.
It is cool.
Like talking about Voyager and other things I didn't even know about. It was really neat.
I have to check.
The guy's got some really. You know what I love is like the philanthropists that have nowhere else to go, so they're starting to really like take over NASA and do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Like make Mars actually become kind of a real possibility.
It's crazy. I didn't get that far yet. That article is mega long, but I would recommend the one on Tesla was really good too. He did one that was all about just. I mean, how do you make the automotive industry interesting? But this guy does it. He totally does it.
He had a cool story because like he's being lobbied out of most cities, because like the Tesla's actually it's getting to be affordable. You don't need to buy gas anymore, and so he's getting lobbied out by all these like car lobbies, and so he basically just took all of his designs and released them publicly, so other people can kind of come in.
Oh, nice.
And then now it's like, you know what? I'm going to change the world in other ways. Now he's building like a hyperloop from like DC to New York,
Yeah, they basically said use our patents.
Go for it.
And we will not litigate. Yep.
Pretty incredible stuff.
It's pretty unreal. We have a Tesla dealership here.
We do.
In lovely Tennessee. I keep meaning to go like test drive one just for the heck of it, because of course I will not be owning one until the affordable one comes out next year.
Yeah.
And even then I probably won't be owning one. But
I've been really what is it called? I've been like fascinated with this. It's like ELO car. Maybe I spelled it wrong. There's this tiny car that's it's Elio, ELIO, and it's like a 3-wheeled car, but it gets like tremendous gas mileage and is only $7,000.
A 3-wheeled car.
Yeah, it was just like, this is the perfect car for like driving to and from work, and then you would have like a bigger car for your more like trips, but it can set 2 people in it. I don't know. It's nuts.
That's cool.
That's pretty crazy. Actually,
pretty exciting.
I kind of mentioned this before we started, but we're actually considering selling down to just one car.
What?
Dude.
So I'm working from home like 4 days a week now, and so basically what we would do is sell mine, get rid of the car payment and the insurance and stuff, and then just like use that one whenever I need to actually go in. I'll take them to work or school or whatever.
You just Uber in. Yeah.
I think that's still not allowed here. There was like some resistance. You know how that's also kind of been an issue in some cities?
Yeah, the taxi guys hate it because you don't need the license or whatever.
Yeah. So we're getting to a point I'm kind of excited about to not own a car anymore. It's one thing I've wanted to do for like the last year.
That is. I'm excited. I want to know how that works out with three kids as well. It's going to be intense.
Yeah, that'll be a little nuts. I mean, we still haven't worked out all the details, but
you won't be able to leave your house anymore at that point. So you know.
Yeah. You'll be fine. It sounds like
three children. You're stuck at home. It's all good.
When I went full time, or when I started going, remote, they were like, "We're not, this isn't a babysitting service. You really need to work." I was like, "Yeah, I understand that. Listen, I hate driving here. I can't stand it."
This isn't a babysitting service. What a bunch of jerks.
Oh, gee.
What a bunch of jerks.
Nice. You're like, thank you for your confidence in me. I really appreciate it.
I love it here.
Don't spend time caring about your kids.
Nick, when's your next comic coming out?
Oh, what? Oh, yeah, the first one isn't there even. I did buy a domain.
Oh, yeah.
I did. And the second one, like I said, my due date was last Friday, and I had it drawn, but I just have not inked it. Or no, I've inked it, but I have not colored it. I misspoke there. I've been slammed with this freelance thing, and I just need to suck it up one night and do it anyway.
What's the domain name?
Oh, there's nothing there right now, but I was gonna call it the Modern Gripe or This Modern Gripe, and .gripe is totally a domain extension. That was part of why I picked it. So I have this.
Are you typing it out?
I'm typing it out. Yeah, I lost him there, like in the middle of.
Oh, he did the fan thing again. Did he disappear? He did drop. I don't know where. Maybe he's just lost for a second.
Hello, viewers. Time to drop out. Jesus.
Like... right in the middle of a plug. Oh no. Worst advertising ever already.
Are you guys on your second drawing already?
I mean, I just started kind of drawing an Angry Picard, so.
Okay. I finished my Worf one. I'm just not going to do too many colors on it. I'm just keeping the backs like in this pastel shape.
I dropped off. Blah.
Blah. Right in the middle of your
my spiel.
Yeah, to the 4 viewers we have.
Is it This Modern .gripe?
That's it.
That.
I don't know why .gripe is a domain extension.
I don't know.
I think it's when I got cut off, but it's kind of cool.
I think what I'd like to do is just make just tons of gripe web pages.
Right.
Work gripes.
Like, I discovered this one day, and that's when I first had the idea. I was like, I should make something that's like .gripe and do a webcomic,
Nice.
And that's when I was like talking to you guys about it some. And
the stars aligned.
Yeah,
Who's it? Awkward Yeti. He has I think it's heartandbrain.coffee.
Oh, nice.
That he domain. That was pretty badass.
Like I listened to a podcast called Reply All, and they were talking about the .gripe domain name, and I'm like, crap, I have to buy it now because people know it exists. So I went out and bought it. So
Reply All is an excellent podcast.
Thanks to Reply All and you guys for forcing me to do something. I was like, crap, people know that exists. I must get it while it's still special. But yeah, I mean, because the thing is, it's not like I'm going to completely stop doing freelance work from time to time, so I have to balance it all. But I have not done it at all.
It's a hard balance.
It has not been going well, this project, at all. So I was very ready to draw tonight. Very ready.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad we can help you out here.
It's a stress reliever, man, just to draw.
It really is.
Whew.
Yeah, I don't do enough just drawing for myself with no intention of following up. So
that's one thing I'm afraid of. Like I want this to what everything I'm doing to kind of make money and all that stuff. But I know everybody I know who's gone to webtoons, are just gotta get a comic out. Jesus, this sucks. I don't know what to do. And they're all super stressed out. It's kind of crazy to watch.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a review process or something.
For webtoons?
Yeah. Or if it's just like because you have to make something different and it has to do well there. I could see that being like a stressor if it's like they're paying me, I better make something.
I had this idea for like a series I wanted to do to see if it would catch any attention with like Tapastic or them or something. It was gonna be like Cooking with Steve.
Oh yeah.
Me like.
I'm in already. You've got me.
It's gonna be me like cooking crap, but it's terribly like giving up on it halfway through the recipe because I don't know what I'm doing.
Just like real life.
Yeah, I already drew out the first episode. It's gonna be like how to cook artichokes. My wife taught me how to do that once, and we'll eat them every once in a while. But there's so much work involved, you know. And so it's pretty much just like him starting it and then giving up and getting like a pizza and cookies and some beer.
Yeah.
Halfway through, you just wonder, is this worth the effort? Am I going to gain this much by doing this? Yeah.
That would be great. Yeah, like being
this is my constant cooking struggle.
All right, cool. I think I'm going to do it.
Do it. Follow your heart.
People see if anybody bites.
That sounds cool.
I'm excited to actually get things out there, though, so I held well to my schedule, so I allowed myself to be derailed because I needed some spare money, so, you know.
Are you setting up, like, launch days?
I've just been trying to hold myself to a 2-week schedule just to generate stuff. Yeah, totally on my own. Can I cut the mustard? Can I stick to it? But beyond that, I haven't done anything, no.
I'm excited to see it, man, because like once you already know it's kind of addictive. Like once you start, it's just
that's the thing. Once I get going one night, like I just planned on penciling it, and then I went ahead and inked it, and I'm like, I could go ahead, I'll color it tomorrow, and then I got horribly derailed. So, but I could see how I could stay up all night doing it. Yeah.
It's really rewarding in that regard.
Pretty much every night I could stay up doing it.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. We have some comments from the chat. Hello, chat. Also, chat if you have. I'm going to say chat about 4 times apparently.
Chat. There's a chat.
Chat. If you have any suggestions for what we should draw next, let us know. Let's see. Paxton asked, "Hey Paxton," he's a college friend. He says, "What's your all's preferred method to add color, fill, and keep it within your outline of your sketches?"
I try not to fill as much. I actually so I'll do this kind of color method, but I always go behind the line art. So I always color beneath. I always color down. I start out with the line art on top, and everything else is below. And every new layer I add below the previous layer, so I don't have to kind of, erase anything out unless absolutely necessary.
Yeah, I do very similar where I do the outlines first, and then below that I usually start with the background colors. So here I would just do like all of this would just be a layer, and then. Or I guess I actually do the sketch layer first, do a new layer, that's the inks, hide my sketch layer, and then do my background colors, and then on top of that do my flats for my characters or any objects in the screen.
Yeah, I'm going to pull my Photoshop back up. I closed it for some reason. Because I pretty much do what you guys are describing.
Yeah, I think it's the way most people...
are pretty darn similar. One of the things I really liked at first with drawing with a tablet is that I had this super clean line art with the transparent layer behind it and all that. Sometimes when you scan in, you're having to set the multiply to leave out the white and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I like having I always have a little multiply on my line art to let the colors kind of warm up the line.
Oh, nice.
Okay. That's something I've started doing that I really like to do. There it is without the line art. But then I'm like you guys. I just layer it up underneath. Now sometimes I'll do the lasso tool and do a fill, and then you can do this lock transparent pixels thing, and you can't color outside of the solid color. And that could be a nice way to do a textured thing, but still have a clean line. on the edge.
Oh, very nice.
Nice. All right.
So I've done that a little bit too. It just kind of depends on what I'm doing. Like this was a more scribbly loose kind of thing. But yeah, so I kind of do the same thing. Same thing plus one fancy trick.
I've done it if I want like outlines like on the log lady. Like when I want the red outlines, I'll do a clipping mask on top of the line layers. I don't know if that shows up. I don't think my side panel shows up.
I need to swap over and see what you're doing.
And so I can just do a clipping mask that will only show up within like those lines. So even though I'm coloring everywhere, it only shows up wherever the lines are. So if I want like color lines, I'll do it all in black.
Oh, dude, that is cool. I did not realize you could do that.
You know what? Like I always just kind of magic wand and take out the contiguous.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll just like put the brush size at 2500 and pretty much cover the image like immediately.
Nice, yeah.
I mean, yours makes sense, and I get it. Like, I really should do something along those lines. I just never really bothered to mess a lot with the clipping mask.
Are we doing a tea Earl Grey hot joke?
I am.
Oh, nice.
My hero.
It's a really bad joke.
I'm not the only nerd who tried Earl Grey tea because of Picard, right?
Are you kidding me? That's all I would ever get when we'd hit up a bed and breakfast with my parents. I'm like, what's the deal with this? Oh, I feel distinguished.
You're like, I'm going to order some tea, Earl
Number
Grey.
two.
But yeah, that little lock transparent layer trick is a nice one. I stole that from a YouTube video.
I have to try that one.
I'll just watch people color. There's a guy who released...
That's actually really entertaining to like watch artists on YouTube.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love to just find like where people video comic book artists at cons and stuff.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You get to watch like your heroes draw. It's just kind of cool.
That is really cool. I like it. Except when you can't find them. Like I'm a huge Dave McKean fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I can never find any of his stuff online like he does.
Right.
Like any of his con appearances. It's always like an interview.
Like there was John Gordon Murphy. I'm a huge fan of heroes. And his art is just ridiculous. But they had some of him like explaining how to draw cars. It's like such a nerd thing for me. It's amazing. Here's how you draw a car.
What was his answer? Was it just like don't?
No, he that's the thing about him is he draws like cars and ridiculous machinery and all this kind of stuff. I can't remember the name of the comic now. Dang it, I'm blanking. There's one. It was just like a 5-issue thing. It was like an 80s revenge movie.
Oh, nice.
Like a comic book, but there's one whole comic that they're interrogating someone in the back of a van during a car chase, and so the whole book is a car chase. And I'm like, how in the heck did he draw this? Or no, wait, no, that was Matteo Scalera. Whoops, another fan. I'm a huge fan of Matteo Scalera too. But no, Sean Gordon Murphy did The Wake. That's the thing I read by him. So he's like drawing all these giant, like crazy steampunk ships and all this stuff, and I'm just like, how did people do this?
Oh, so quick side note. So whenever we dismantle like a sequencer, there's actually a steampunk community near where I work, and they always come to us to get all the parts. They cut these things and like turn them into different attire to put on their costumes and stuff. And so before we give them out, we have to make sure none of it's like tainted with any kind of amphibian bromide, you know, so they don't like forget math. Pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
So if you're a steampunk fan out there, go hit up some DNA labs and wait for the technology to improve.
Need to spit streams.
Okay.
Oh, jeez, what color is Data? Like gold?
Are you doing a data?
He's like a goldish. Oh yeah, I totally have a Data here.
Okay, I'm doing a data.
Uh-oh, too many data jokes. I'm just going to keep with my terrible Picard joke.
I think his eyes are gold. He has like this really
he's like
oh yeah
very pale.
Reflective chalk, you know, or something.
I'm gonna have to go do a little Google image searching.
Hunt away.
Yeah.
I had to do that with some stuff I was looking up here. This Picard amuses me, but I don't know if the joke is. It's just dumb. I don't think it's good enough.
Lukewarm
I love
response.
those,
Oh
man.
gosh, that's fantastic.
Oh god.
I think he spells Luke the other way though, so I feel like.
Oh, that makes me happy.
That's really good.
Did I always think this stuff was funny? So, I don't think becoming a dad made me appreciate a pun. Oh, here's the data that I used to draw this. I will reference it.
Perfect, John.
You know how to throw a party in space? You go up to planet. Oh. Planet.
It took me a second. I won't lie.
Planets. You guys. I'll stop.
Okay.
Like, if I repeat it enough.
You'll eventually get there.
I had to do,
It's a classic dad move.
I had to do team photos this week. New company I'm at, you know? We're doing, like, stuff for the website.
Oh, yeah,
And, why can I not get my color picker to behave? And so the photographer would tell really cheesy jokes to make us smile.
Oh god.
And somehow it totally worked. That was one of them.
They know what they're doing.
It was all in the delivery.
Yeah.
It was all in the delivery.
That guy has done it before, I'm sure.
I was gonna say, if you're a photographer, especially like a wedding or something, you kind of have to be a bastard because no one's paying attention or caring. When you're there, you got to get your job done. You know?
He's done like all these like country music stars and famous people and stuff, and me.
Nice. My dad always said that, like, you know, like if you come out of your wedding hating your wedding photographer, then you're gonna have good photos.
Right.
Like that's how you know. Like
It's a little dad wisdom there.
well, it is. That's my dad dropping the dad knowledge right there.
Dropping the dad knowledge.
Let's see if the chat said anything else.
We dropped some dad knowledge on coloring then.
We did.
It sounded like we actually know what we're doing, which is kind of scary.
That is a terrifying part. And also, like, red-green color deficient, so no one should listen to my picks on color.
See, I always like your colors. They're so distinct.
Yeah, you guys.
I think it, like, I found out when I was, like, 12, so I think it's just always terrified me just a bit, so I'm always like, go bright or go home. Like, that's the only way to make sure it's a real color.
See, I actually like honestly, I'd love for some kind of tips on coloring. Like I always go earthy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like I always take the try this again. I always take the saturation out by like 50%, you know, just to kind of make it like I'm Saving Private Ryan. It I guess is what you could call it.
I found somebody sent me a link. It was Tom sent me a link to some. It's a comic book artist who released like a coloring course online for like, I mean it's like $90 or something, but it's like fully comprehensive.
Oh yeah.
And now I cannot remember who it was.
I wish I had good coloring advice.
And who's the guy that he's been doing like some time lapses of his colors? The Daily Comic guy.
Yeah.
John.
John Cullen.
Cullen. Holy. His stuff is ridiculous.
Hey, what about? So actually, I follow a lot of his stuff. You talking about his YouTube videos?
Yeah, he's been doing these time lapses of his, and I'm just like, I hate you because you're so skilled.
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot of notice lately. Are you saying that? Are you saying though that he has like a course?
No, it's like he just does some time lapses on YouTube of his stuff. No, this was another he's a professional comic book colorist that made like a. The URL was something like Color Comics. I mean, it was some horribly obvious thing I can't think of now.
Okay.
Great flip.
Yeah.
That guy.
No, then I was just saying John's stuff is like.
Jesus. Incredible.
I don't know. There's like some kind of unexpected color choice in like everything he does. It just makes it really cool.
Yeah. No, that guy. Like I'm almost anticipating him to get hired by somebody really soon. You know.
Yeah,
Gosh,
it's just
so good. Oh, here's that link. I save everything, guys. I'm a dad. Boom.
Dropping it.
It's in our group chat.
That's actually kind of badass. It just popped up above your name.
Yeah.
Did it? Oh, that's fancy. I'm afraid I clicked the group chat, and what happens is that then
I see it. 79.
But yeah, man, John's colors are ridiculous.
they're too good. They are too good.
They really are, man. I just see him like sometime soon happening for him.
I feel like I heard him say the other day that he's also it only takes him like 2 to 3 hours to make one of them.
That jerk.
Just like, are you kidding me?
It takes him like it's like 2 hours to make to do all the colors, but like an hour and change, I think. Yeah, you're right. Like an hour and change or something to do the line art because it's all analog first, you know.
He's so good.
That just popped out of nowhere too. Like
Yeah,
I know I think he's like almost 500 something, maybe 600 comics or something, like in that daily challenge thing that he does.
Yeah.
But
I saw like it was like Punisher fan art that he did or something, and the colors were just like pink and orange and all this crazy stuff, and it just looked amazing.
yeah,
And I just started following all of his stuff.
Nice.
I think he's based out of Ireland.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's Irish. I was tempted to try to say Irish with an Irish accent then, but that would have been ill-advised.
I'm glad
Do
you
it.
did.
Do it.
Smart thinking there.
A little dad wisdom, you guys.
A plus. Don't do that.
It's better to be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
Do we have any Star Trek advice on that? Star Trek dad advice?
Star Trek dad advice.
Guys, watch Star Trek.
Don't bring kids on the Enterprise. That doesn't end up well. The captain doesn't like them.
And then they're like,
and
then they like make a decision. They get your dad killed, and then they're like totally hitting on your mom.
Not okay. Not okay.
You
Not
guys
cool,
remember
Jean
that
Luc.
episode?
Not cool.
I forget which episode it was. I think it was when Riker gets impregnated by an alien and he grows like a wrist nipple.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't gotten that far.
Oh my god. I think it's Riker. It's been too long since I saw it, but I remember reading about it like on Cracked one time, and I was like, oh yeah.
I'm like trying to think of that. Mr. Lucas.
Yeah.
Check and mate.
I don't know. You can't really checkmate him when he had done Howard the Duck, you know?
Yeah.
I think that tops any sci-fi
Oh
badness.
jeez. That's the chick from Back to the Future.
Yes.
Leah Thompson?
Oh, good gravy. And she's like, no, it's not good.
I was listening to the How Did This Get Made about it, where
Gosh, so good.
and they were going through everything, and apparently I forgot the opening shot was of duck lady boobs. So
Yes.
so I feel like any other, like anything else you got other than that is like.
It's like we're just gonna go right out the gate, set the tone right here.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be like a kids movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of How Did This Get Made episodes about like this is supposed to be a kids movie, but it's actually disturbing.
They were saying on it that it was originally supposed to be an animated movie, but he had a contractual obligation that he had to do a live action film. So it was just like, screw it. Here we go.
Oh my gosh. They've started doing like this guy's writing little oral histories of all the movies.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
I have to check that out.
They did the Chuck Norris movie Top Dog, I think it's called. And I remember watching that movie, doing martial arts as a kid. You watch every Chuck Norris movie. Totally missed that the entire movie is about him busting white supremacists.
I feel like
And that's just like one of those things you're like, really? But it totally is. Totally is.
Let's see. Here in the chat. Let's see. Shannon says she keeps seeing my Heron fan. I'm sorry. I keep clicking off Manga Studio, and it ends up showing my camera, which is on my Surface Pro, which is staring at my fan. So it's terrible, terrible streaming entertainment.
People want to see what you look like.
No one needs to see that. I have a square nose.
They come for the drawings. They stay for Mr. Hall's face.
Who doesn't? Yeah. I was voted most attractive in my school. I went to school for the blind. Hey-o.
Oh.
That joke was bad. I'm sorry. Neither of those things are true. I was voted smartest at my school.
Really?
I was going for wittiest. But I'm afraid that went to a guy who did such great routines as a guy in a little jacket, a la Chris Farley. So, right. I think I might have just been a little advanced, is really all I'm saying. Let's see, and then when I asked for things to draw, she said Pokemon. So I'm going to try to find me a Pokemon to draw.
I gotta say, that's one I know nothing about Pokemon.
You know nothing about Pokemon?
I know nothing.
What about you, Steven?
Yeah, I know a little bit about it. I know a lot. When it came out, I remember it was just past, like, I guess our generation,
Yeah.
It's just like I was just getting into high school, and then it blew up on the scene, and I was like, okay, I'll try it out a little bit on Game Boy, and it was fun and all, but I don't really. It was in black and white. Sorry, I thought I heard my son, but it was just him, like, in that baby poop green color from Pokemon, I mean,
Yes, the Game Boy baby poop. That's the perfect definition of that.
It's totally true.
It was an atrocious color. It was just awful.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't really, like, get into it as much after that, and I went to college. I was just kind of like, wow, Pokemon's still a thing. And so I didn't, I guess, get into it as much as everybody, especially now, because it's huge now.
It is huge.
I do remember there being a very excellent episode of South Park about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shin Pokemon Master, aww.
Penis so big.
Oh man, we got a little Bill Clinton. It's a different time.
See, I got into Pokemon, unfortunately, and even did I did a Pokemon role-playing play-by-post game.
Okay.
That's how cool I was. I never played the card game that came out, but I played the Game Boy game. I used an emulator. I remember being in high school and using an emulator to play that.
Was it like Nesticle? Do you remember that emulator?
I don't remember the name of the emulator.
I do. I remember the Nintendo one was called Nesticle, like Nesticle.
Oh, you know what? No, I do remember that. Oh no.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't technically remember it.
Oh, I had forgotten that.
I had forgotten. And
like, this was totally not made by 14-year-olds in their basement.
Yeah.
It's called Nesticle.
I remember my dad got mad at me because I would go to the computer and download and get one of those things, and my dad's like, "We just bought you like a PlayStation, and now you're going back and playing the old games." Dad, they're part of my youth.
I think I owned the first one. I played it, but I don't know if I ever beat it. I don't remember anything about it.
You missed out on a lot.
Yeah, I hear it's great.
It's good times. It's good times. I really like it, but it may not be everybody's cup of tea. Yeah. Just trying to draw some random one from the new one. Halucha, but I think I'm going to go with a more classic Pokemon. Here, I'll use that one up.
I remember Mewtwo was in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, he still is in Smash Brothers.
If you played enough multiplayer, you would get Mewtwo.
That's right.
And I definitely played that much multiplayer.
I had a buddy who would kill with Jigglypuff, like just all the time, and he did it just piss everybody off. He was just, he was that kid who would like move and then destroy everything. He's so good at it.
That's pretty funny.
I watched a really long documentary about the history of Smash Brothers and how like the kids who got like real popular from it, and it's just like it was so bizarre, like such a bizarre scene, you know?
Yeah.
Like they were really into it, like really into it.
I'm that guy that watches Evo, each year.
Is that the fighting competition?
Yeah, and they do Smash Brothers in it now.
Yeah, they talked about how it was them versus the Skullgirls. Did you ever see that? It's like an indie fighting game.
Oh no, I have not seen that.
It was, and so it was like whoever could get the most votes.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And then they won, and then they were like, and then the people from Evo were calling up and being like, so, do any of you have a CRV TV? Because we don't have anything that plugs this into, you know?
Right. Oh my gosh.
Which is awesome in its own accord.
Oh boy. Well, leaving. Yeah, and dude, there was someone one year who was poning some people with Jigglypuff. Sure enough.
I always played, I'm trying to think of which ones. It's been a while since I played it. Like, the one I got on Wii was pretty decent, but even the one on 64 was pretty badass.
I have the 3DS one now, and I enjoy it quite a bit.
Oh yeah, I've been thinking about getting that one.
I like it.
I'm waiting because they just announced the Shovel Knight cameo.
Oh gosh.
Which is badass. If you haven't played Shovel Knight,
I love Shovel Knight.
I was gonna say like you of everyone should have played Shovel Knight because I know your love for Mega Man.
Mega Man is my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, it's totally in that vein of like. Mega Man.
Yeah, it's excellent. That's one of the first games I played with Jude was Shovel Knight.
Oh yeah.
He would watch me play, and he just loved it. He would just want to play Shovel Knight every night, and I'm like, well, if you wanna.
Did you see that? With a new MMO, you can play co-op.
I say, didn't they add a multiplayer?
Yeah, so they're adding like a fight version that's supposed to be coming out. They're adding a fighting game version, so it's like Smash Brothers. And then they're adding a new DLC with, I think, Plague Knight. There's like one with Plague Knight, another one with one of the other knights.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then they're doing where you can like switch up the gender of Shovel Knight and the Shield Lady, whose name I've now forgotten.
Oh yeah, cool.
So you can play them as different genders and stuff.
What's your guys' favorite Mega Man?
I'm going with 2.
Number 2, yeah. Oh my God, because of the impact on my life that game had.
The soundtrack of that game.
Yeah, the Flashman stage.
I listen to that when I code. I'll listen to like the Mega Man soundtrack.
Yeah.
Ugh, so good. I really like 3 as well, but 2 is just like you say, you got that extra nostalgia to cap it off.
That's definitely number 1, but like close second would be all the ones that came on Super Nintendo, like the Mega Man X games.
Oh, no, that's true, man. Mega Man X is like the perfect video game. It's amazing.
So good.
See, I like 2 for Mr. Wood or Woodman.
Oh yeah, Woodman.
The leaf thing.
Yeah. I don't know if I've played any of them through.
I like it because you can get the fire weapon and charge it up and kill him with like one shot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steven, I've got to say, your comic right now, the drawing you're doing, is hilarious.
Oh, thanks, man.
I need to flip over here and see this.
It's just too good. I just caught it. I was just like, oh no.
Is it because it's late, or is it actually that funny?
It's that funny.
It's just that funny. Or is it the Thunder Ale that I'm drinking?
I think.
I'm trying to finish off this bottle. I still got like 2 or 3 more of scotch.
That's
like,
a local,
should I finish it or should I?
Local one, man. Thunder Ale. Good stuff. So good. Jackalope Brewing Company.
Hey,
This episode is sponsored by Scotch.
I think every episode is really
Yes, Scotch.
I feel bad I'm not drinking. I always forget to actually. We don't really drink it. I've never been a drinker.
Okay, that's the wrist nipple. If you could see that.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure it's Riker. I think he gets impregnated, but
Why not?
I haven't seen the episode in way too long. So if somebody in the chat can correct me, right on.
People are going to be clamoring for that one, man.
Yes. I know, I've gone away. I was trying to see the wrist nipple. But
It's like, you think you know wrist nipples? Come on.
Hello, people. This is my hair. At this late at night.
This little like learn comic color thing looks awesome, actually.
It looks pretty cool, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I just know that there's probably some little habits I have that aren't good, or tricks of the trade I could learn, or color theory I could pick up. I never really did a very in-depth color theory.
Yeah,
in school. It's like, read this one chapter in your Design 2 book. Okay. It's just like perspective. It's like, read this one chapter in this book.
I'm at this like point now, you know, that I really want to go back and just take all these classes I find online, quit my job for like a couple of months and really just get good, you know. Maybe, I mean, it would be more than a couple of months I would need, but who is it? There's a guy, he's a Magic the Gathering card artist. I think he does a lot of other landscape stuff too. Noah Bradley.
Yeah, Noah Bradley's mad good.
Dude, he's so good.
He's fucking mad good. Ugh.
He does this like art camp thing that looks so badass. It's like $250, but it's just all these videos. I think it's like they'll even provide like feedback and stuff. And I wish I had all this money to submit in time, I guess, would be also important.
It's like, I think it got canceled this year, but I saw like Sean Gordon Murphy does like an apprenticeship thing. Like, come and hang out with me and I will teach you to draw. It's like an intensive, small period of time kind of thing.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, look, Mel, just keep the kids by yourself for a few months. I have to go draw comic books with this guy. You'll understand.
Back in December.
You'll be fine. Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to make any money after that happens. But
this other thing was an online course, you said?
Yeah, let's see if I can find the link.
Dude, that sounds kind of awesome.
I think it's Art Camp. Yeah, it's called Art Camp. One of the things he does, though, is he like totally blasts art schools. You know?
Nice.
He's like, there you go. If that came up.
Let me jump over here and see this.
I like that we can like do that, like give each other links. I love technology. I'm gonna start giving you guys stupid links.
Yep, there's your wrist nipple.
Yep, that's it.
This is in the chat.
I'm like, this is no art camp. This is a wrist nipple.
Wow, that is.
The guy who told everyone, don't go to art school. There you go.
Yeah.
No, there's a Christmas gift. Give me art camp.
12-week self-directed online class.
Man.
I need to finish up. I've started that cartooning and philosophy book.
Oh, you did? How do you like it?
I just have gotten through the first reading, the first part. I haven't even gotten to the
What is this?
activities. It's
The philosophy of comicking? Oh, wait, I can't remember the name of it.
I think it's cartooning of philosophy. Let me see. I'll find you a link. Cartooning philosophy and practice.
Brunetti. Yeah, I think it's Ivan Brunetti.
Oh, I don't even know that name. Ooh.
Yeah, Ivan Brunetti. I kind of like that in the beginning. He says, like, I don't have, like, the greatest track record.
Yeah.
But he's like, but I'm a good teacher, so there I just sent a link in there.
But it's pretty cool. Like that book actually won like an Eisner.
Oh yeah.
For there's like a academic section of the Eisner Awards, you know, and this is actually or like scholarly or whatever. And this actually won one I think like 3 or 4 years ago or something.
Oh wow, this is interesting. I have
Pretty
this
cool.
one thing. What is it? It's on my bookshelf here. The Animator's Survival Kit by Richard Williams.
Oh yeah, I feel like I've heard of that.
He did the art for There's this old, and it's amazing if you ever see it. It was this adaptation of a Christmas Carol that's animated, and it is ridiculous how beautiful this movie is. But he did that, and he also, I guess, he's more famous for being like the art director on Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh yeah.
And he's just like, it's just a book about portraying movement and animation, but it works for like comics, like so far as like how does a body move, what makes it look like it's in motion. Like it even applies to like to our world. I'm just gonna include myself.
There you go. Yeah, you invented the comic. You're official. You're
But
official in the club.
it's pretty amazing. So he's got all these lessons from like old Disney artists in there and stuff. It's just cool. I've never really studied it, you know. I just kind of, I'll read the part on the walk cycle or something, you know. I just kind of pick and choose. Lieutenant Dater. There he is. I kept trying to think of a good pun for that. I'm like, that needs something.
It's hard. Nothing rhymes with lieutenant.
Lieutenant Dater.
Glue.
Data, sir. Dater. Yes, Dater.
Oh, I think you mean lieutenant. I got you.
Spock, you don't really have any interesting color to you, buddy.
He's trying.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
Mr. Nimoy.
That was a big drag, man. Like, I mean, I loved that character growing up, you know? My dad was a huge Trekkie. So, like, he wouldn't buy, you know, Ferengi poop or Spock ears or whatever at the cons, but he loved meeting him, and he always talked about how great of a show and great of an impact it was, like, on him and the world of sci-fi and stuff. So he always had these really cool things to say about it. And then, like, when he died, like, my dad was sad about it, and I was, like, affected. It was really intense. Real dads, real emotions.
Real
Yeah.
dads. Real emotion. Raw emotion with the
Feels
dads.
in here.
Yeah, it seems like I saw something that, like, so he was Jewish, I think.
Yeah.
And it's like the Live Long and Prosper was supposed to be like, it's sort of like his representation of like a particular Hebrew letter or something. Like that's kind of where the idea for it came from. I just thought that was
That's
fascinating.
cool. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, I think it was something. It was supposed to be something like that. That it was. I mean, it's not exactly like the letter, but it's kind of where he got the idea for it.
For the hand symbol, or like.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That
cool.
was its starting place.
Yeah. It's something to that effect. Oh, why do I color things?
It is always the worst part.
It exposes my weakness.
Yeah. Do you have a worst part of drawing yet? Have you found that yet? Or worst part of comic making? What's your least favorite?
Me?
Anyone really?
I'm trying to think. Time, really. No, not the fact that you. I mean, obviously, like you never have as much as you want to do it, but when it's the closing minutes and you're like, "Crap, this would have been way funnier if I do this." Should I start over and change it? You know, like I actually so I just did a joke about newlyweds and like you know, like you guys remember the Newlywed Game?
Yes.
Yeah.
I also remember this comic because it was so good.
Thanks. Well, originally it was totally different, and then just in the middle of the night, I was like, God, it would be really funny. It was just going to be two people arguing, and then they have a fight, and then, you know, they leave the house, you know, and then I was like, that's not really that funny. And halfway through drawing it, I'm like, you know what? it took me a while, but I had like this moment of panic where I'm like, how long will it take for me to change this into a game show and have them get divorced at the end? And the answer was like 2 hours, but it was worth it. It was just kind of like that minute of like, when am I going to sleep? And that happens. I'd say that's the worst part for me because that happens quite a lot. Like I'll just be like, sometimes it works out really well. Other times my wife's like, that's stupid.
You're like, still dumb. Sorry, my dear. You're like, oh, come on.
Probably hands too. I don't know. Hands are kind of a thing, but what about you?
Hands are awful. I think coloring is actually right now where I'm just like, I'll get my comic, like all the line art done on it, and I'm just like, can I just stop here? Just
Yeah.
the rest is, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something I kind of have like a mental block on or something. I don't know. Is adding color. I'm getting there. I'm trying to practice, but
Well, if these drawings are any indication, your color adding is great.
it's tough.
Yeah.
Keep at it.
It's tough.
You guys have a problem with backgrounds ever? Like you ever
I was gonna say that one I did. You guys saw with the living room. I'm like, I drew the guy sitting there in perspective in like 10 minutes, and then the living room took me like hours. I'm like, why the hell did I put this in here?
I never know how much detail to go in the backgrounds, and if I just leave them empty, I feel like, there's not enough here. But then if I draw them in, I'm just like, this is just too annoying.
See these guys that do these great like buildings and stuff, and I'm like,
yeah. Those
like
guys.
I can't cop out on this. That's why I love drawing hands. Actually, is because I'm like, I can't cop out on my hand. My hand's got to be great. There are people, but then I'm like, oh, but this building, no, it can suck. It can just be a black block in the background.
Yeah. Good enough. Here's some generic squares to make it look like it has floors. Yeah, good.
There's this one guy that draws like these ridiculous buildings. What's his name? Dustin Weaver. He's an artist for Marvel. And
I was about to say, that sounds familiar.
And someone asked him on his, because I just follow his Tumblr, RSS for the win. And someone asked him how he does his buildings, you know, because some of these guys have like, they'll have a model of a city, like a 3D model. So you can pull it up and like have it in the pose. Like Marvel has this available to their artists, like this 3D model of New York or whatever. Which makes sense. That's how their stuff looks so awesome. But he's like, you know, actually, I've done this enough. I just do it from out of my head.
Dang.
You know, I just make it up, and I'm like, you suck. Because his looks so good, you know? Or like when you look at like manga, like the backgrounds those guys draw are like just ridiculous.
They are ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Insane.
And I'm just like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
You remember Takuya, the Japanese guy that was in art school with us?
Oh yeah. Wasn't
He let me borrow some manga of his that was like really cool stuff. And there's one where just like the backgrounds are so ridiculous. I'm like, I should stop drawing just now. I should retire.
That stuff can be like super, just like bumming out.
That was the one about it was called, it's such a Japanese name, Sexy Voice. This is what it was called. It was about, only the Japanese could do this, guys. It was about a teenage girl that ran a phone sex line, was on a phone sex line, and she solved mysteries.
Of course, at the same time.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it was like Nancy Drew meets phone sex chat.
Was it, so it was like, so the murderer is, hold on, I have to take this. Oh, what are you wearing?
It was, yeah, you know, she just check out these relationships with the clients and like solve mysteries for them.
Phone sex line people?
I'm like, does he think this is weird? Because I think this is weird. Is this like a cultural block?
Yeah. Is he just like, yeah, that's what happened?
But it turned out actually to be very charming, with amazing brushwork.
Yeah. That's crazy. As all good mangas are, I guess. Mangas, excuse me.
You know, the phone sex line part was downplayed. You know, it wasn't like she was just talking on the phone in all the panels, but that's totally was her job, and she was having to lie about her age.
Okay.
So there you go.
Nice. Do we have any other themes?
We haven't gotten any.
There was Pokemon, I believe, thrown out, right?
Yeah, I did a Pokemon. I did Mr. Mime here. I can't draw Pokemon tonight.
I've just been wholly focused on Spock.
Yeah, I think maybe we can just stick with Star Trek.
I tried to do that in a Kirkian way.
I did. I appreciated it.
Spock.
Did we already talk about his albums? Did we ever get around to his?
Oh, gosh.
They're all brilliant.
Ben Folds.
Yeah, he did one with Ben Folds.
Yeah, I was. So Ben Folds lives in Nashville.
Who lives here, yes.
Yeah, so they did, and so they did the album in Nashville, and then on top of that, they did a ballet.
What?
On the album. I don't think it was in Nashville. I want to say it was in Michigan, but there's the Nashville Film Fest every year, and one of them was a documentary about the ballet and the recording of the album. So I sat and watched that documentary in a room with Ben Folds and William Shatner and I don't remember the ballet lady who directed the stuff, but it was interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It was strange.
My boss at my last job, his kids go to the same school that Ben Folds' kids go to.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, do you know Ben Folds? Could you introduce me to him?
Can I go to your PTA meetings?
He's just like, yeah, he's usually there. I'm like, but he's in the room.
He just kind of hangs out. It's cool.
I think I'd be like putting pressure on my kid. Now look, if you could get to know Ben Folds' kid.
Yeah, that right there, that's who you want to make buddies.
So we can go over to his house, and I can have him sign all my albums. That would be okay.
And then I get a big hug. We're best friends.
I'm sure
and maybe a few photos.
I had a buddy see Shatner in an airport in Boston, and so there's like 2 floors in the Boston airport, I think, or like maybe the old one, but he looks down a level. He's like, "Holy crap, that's William Shatner!" And he's Shatner like really loud, and then like he looks up like a frightened cat, and then runs out with his bodyguards, and he's like, "I just saw Shatner."
I terrified Shatner.
He's like, dude, I made Shatner run in fear. He beat Khan like twice, and I made him run in fear.
How'd you guys feel about the new movies? Did you guys see them?
Yeah.
I did see them. I didn't feel bad about them. I don't know if I felt like great either,
Like I just remember geeking out over Into Darkness in the theater.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I was into it the second time I watched it. But I like them. I like what they're doing.
Yeah, I thought they were fun.
I do too.
The first one especially, though, I really enjoyed it quite a bit.
I was stoked when it came out. Like, I really was. I was like, it's back. And they're gonna make it pretty like modern, and it's gonna be cool,
But but no, see, now I'm remembering more things about the second one that I just really liked. Peter Weller. Is that his name? RoboCop. It's RoboCop. And so, like, the way they've done the alternate timeline thing, that, like, the top secret Starfleet branch from, like, DS9 is already happening in, like, Kirk's time. It's just cool. It's just kind of cool that they're, like, there's all these smart little nods. Yeah, I was digging that quite a bit.
I didn't even notice that.
I was into that, whatever it was, 30, whatever it is. I'm blanking on what it is, so I don't seem as cool and geeky now.
You've lost it all cred's gone.
It's like they did the sweep of deep space earlier because of the stuff from the first movie, so they found Khan, then they started developing that secret weaponry earlier than they would have in the original series. Whoa.
When they did Deep Space Nine.
And the Klingons looked freaking awesome.
They really did. Yeah,
the moment when he pulled the helmet off, I was kind of like squealing in my chair.
Have you ever heard him like kind of answer the question as to why they look so different, compared to like the original series?
Oh,
in the
no.
original series, they just had big eyebrows.
Yeah, they just look like people.
They talk about like genetic modification and all this crap. But I mean, that's it. They really kind of just like it's something about genetic modification, and then next question.
It's like, look, Worf looked better, so we went with the better design.
Yeah.
Would you rather us do something lame?
We had some makeup guys flown in.
But they had them like the dude was pierced, like in all the ridges on his head. Freaking, so cool. That was cool.
Oh man. Yeah, you know who I loved was Nero in the first
Gotta
one.
go
That was
watch
like
it again now.
the first one had like Nero. That villain was badass.
Bana.
That was so cool.
Eric Bana.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was. I didn't realize that till my wife was like, "Yeah, man, that was the guy from that time traveling wife movie." Like,
You're like, and you just took this down a notch for me. Thank you.
That book was good. I didn't ever see the movie, but
The book was better. No, it wasn't. You're lying.
what does Jim Gaffigan say about the book? He's like, yeah, but I couldn't finish the book in an hour and a half on Saturday afternoon. Yeah.
Where's baby?
Yeah, that was mine.
Oh, does it know we're changing history here?
She knows what we're up to.
Okay, I said it only because I was assuming it was. I didn't know what to assume the gender.
She's doing the I'm going to cry out in the night and then fall back asleep thing a lot, so I might be okay here.
Oh yeah.
I'll start slightly quieter and wait and see.
That's a fun period.
She's getting off the formula. She's starting to soothe herself to sleep a bit.
There you go.
We're getting there. It's a little sadder in a way. Like with Jude, I was always so excited, my oldest, for like each new thing that happened. And then with the smaller ones, I'm like, oh, now that thing's gone, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's still exciting, but I kind of view it differently in a way.
It's kind of like a mourning of the passage of.
Yeah, it's like, well, that's gonna be gone now, you know. But it's fun to see their little personalities develop. They certainly develop opinions about things. And it's fun. It's part of the fun. Dad life, Star Trek, developing babies. See, I'm excited for these new Star Wars movies because of the boys, man.
Oh man, they're the perfect age.
I'm like, you are the ideal age to go see this.
You are gonna get.
Will and Lucy too. They're casting some good. It looks like they're casting some good female roles in there too.
Yeah.
For her to dig into and enjoy.
Yeah, when you're showing it to her later on.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm excited about all this. It's going to be very cool.
Wes, that's pretty funny.
It's only gonna get better. It's bad. I think you're drunk.
Drunk.
He's like, how dare you accuse me of that?
How dare you accuse me of being enjoyable?
The only time I get to drink, how dare you?
Riker? I hardly knew her. Look at that Riker.
Pretty
That's
badass.
fantastic.
I really captured all the best parts of him, I think.
Oh my gosh. I love that deal with it GIF with him when it shows the season 1 Riker and they drop the beard on him and it's like, deal with it. It's awesome.
I haven't seen that.
Awesome. I have it somewhere in my GIF archive because I do have a GIF archive.
Really, in this day and age, you have to.
I'm that guy, yeah. I apologize to everyone.
I love how like a beard in the '90s was exuding sex appeal.
Ladies.
Wrist nipple.
Wrist nipple, beard. Have you seen that Twitter account, the Riker Googling?
Yes.
Or what his Google queries would be?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So good.
I'm messing this up something bad.
Over half of them are about, various sexual escapades of Riker. he always stepped over every chair. I was thinking that's got to be a pun.
No, I figured that out actually.
Yeah, did you hear about it?
There was a Reddit thread about it. They were like, "Hey, what the hell is up with Riker stepping over every chair?" And then so Will Wheaton is actually like active on Twitter, on Reddit, and he comes in. He's like, "Yeah, he had a really bad back problem."
Really?
Yeah, like they talked about it on the set apparently a lot because he would. It really hurt him to kind of like sit backwards because he used to work in like moving or something.
What? You just blew my mind.
So it was like an injury. Yeah, it was like an injury from a previous job.
You just totally blew my mind. Mind blown.
Real dads, real minds.
Yeah.
Real minds, real explosions.
Real blown.
There's got to be a good joke in that somewhere. In him stepping over the chairs. I don't know what it is. I'm like, that's just a total geek thing that someone would appreciate. Let's see. Data's almost there. And there.
Mine's barely a pun. I'm not even close, but I'm just letting you know it beforehand.
It's okay. I don't think anything can beat the badness of my record joke. So like.
He broke out the trombone.
Nice.
Oh, I'm dying.
The trombone.
That episode where like Picard plays the flute on that planet that he's like living his entire life on.
I can't handle this.
I don't remember that one. I do remember the one where Data like totally lambashes Picard's painting in the beginning.
What does he say about it?
He's just like, he's going around and like reviewing all of them, and he's just like, oh, you're like mixing all the styles as though you were an amateur who didn't know what they were doing, but that's really nice, Captain. He's just like, oh, maybe we should go back to doing ship stuff. It's like Picard totally just shut down.
Oh, man.
You know what's crazy is like every single show practically from the Star Trek universe is on Netflix right now.
It is.
Like even Enterprise, I think, is on it. You know, the one with Scott Bakula.
Yes. I don't think you have a real sci-fi series until you have Scott Bakula.
I know. I like to think that's where he ended up after all the quantum leap jumps. He finally just ended up in the year 20.
That's totally it.
You guys ever check out the fan theories subreddit? One of them was like, it was Michael Lambert ends up being the Highlander, and then that segues into him being Raiden, the lightning god, in Mortal Kombat.
Nice.
I like the dad from Malcolm in the Middle starts selling meth, you know.
Yes.
Starts
Oh
a whole new family.
gosh. Oh my gosh. The thought, Christopher Lambert. Highlander 2 is a pretty amazing movie, though.
I heard it sucked balls. I heard they ruined it.
That's what's amazing about it. That's what's amazing about it. It's so terrible.
I think that's what he's listing as the amazing part.
But you gotta watch the Renegade version.
Okay.
It's the one you want to see. Yeah, man, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
So I heard nothing but negative things.
The last fight scene, there's like a moment when he he falls and he like lands in a completely different location, and they obviously just cut together two scenes that had nothing to do with each other.
Oh, no.
And for some reason, they're blocking out the sun from the Earth at the beginning. I have no idea why.
Why not?
It's like he's become like a scientist, and he's like convinced everyone that the sun is killing the Earth. I'm like, I think the sun's what keeps us all alive, but okay.
Maybe that was his way of finding other Highlanders.
But supposedly they're all dead. It's so confusing.
Yeah, they they didn't even keep it canon either. Like the next movie, they just didn't even talk about any of that.
Throw it all out. And then they're like, wait, a moderately successful television show? Well, let's throw out the canon again.
Highlander legend continues.
That guy was weird.
What was weird?
The guy from the TV show.
What was his name?
Duncan MacLeod from the Clan MacLeod.
I don't remember much about that. Didn't he have a kid sidekick or something?
There might have been some form of teenager involved.
There it is. That's it. Yeah.
Spunky teen.
Of some sort.
Duncan MacLeod, the Clan MacLeod. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I doing that?
Alright. I think this is my, my terrible Riker joke.
That is not
Hold on. But don't. Look at that satisfaction in his face in the second one.
Just realized I'm doing these all wrong. There's that throw down here.
Is he doing like a sad trombone?
Yeah. Well, he's doing trombone. He's trying to do the.
I was thinking like Riker. I hardly knew her. Bwah, bwah, bwah.
I was about to say, Wes, it sounded like you did the Reading Rainbow, and that's, remember like the LeVar Burton sign off?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
You don't have to take my word for it.
You don't have to take my word for it.
I'm gonna change it to wah wah.
I saw this one Star Trek one. It was LeVar Burton, but LeVar with two L's, like wash your hands, and they were scrubbing them. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That's the funniest thing I've seen all week.
I just like that it takes guts to do that joke.
Yeah.
I think it does.
I missed the joke. What was it?
Like LLAVAR is like the Spanish verb for to wash,
Oh. That's impressive.
That's a nice stretch.
I hate everything. Oh, I'm gonna label a layer. Labeled. So there's Data and Spock talking about each other's hair.
Let me see it.
That Data turned out pretty nice.
I like the data.
I'm pretty pleased with that Data.
Yeah, it looks good. I like it. I like the Spock hair a lot.
Yeah, the Spock came out
It's
great.
really good.
It turned out nice, yeah.
It turned out way nicer than it should have.
I think so.
I
think so.
Say I don't mean that.
No, I
watching
think
it
that's.
to spend
I
time
think
on it.
I'll totally take that. I will take what I can get.
Guys, we're slowly losing viewers. I'm sorry.
Are we down to less than 4 now?
We're down to 2.
Oh no.
No.
Didn't this happen last week? Didn't we lose like right around an hour out? We lost like 2 of them. I feel like that's the same time. We were down to 2 like the last time.
Yeah, I think people just eventually stop watching. I don't know why.
We love you.
We've only been doing it for like 2.5 hours. I'm not sure why you would need to go somewhere else.
I see. That's kind of the way I view it. Is like you're gonna show up and draw a little bit, hang out a little, and then you're gonna move on to something else.
Yeah, that's how you should be doing it.
Unless you're Paxton and you're gonna draw the whole night.
Yeah. Hey, if you're drawing with us, keep on drawing.
Keep like in the back of my head, I keep thinking you guys are talking about Bill Paxton.
If you're following along at home, game over, man.
Was he in that
Dead
show?
is what we are.
He was on that show about sister wives or something. I think that might actually be the name.
Yes.
Right.
No, Big Love.
That was it. Yeah.
Big Love. Yes, and they played. What was the theme song? The theme song was really strange. I can't remember. It was like a classic. It was a different take on a classic song. It doesn't matter. He was like a construction builder or something.
I just remember like the crowning achievement of that show was like the joke. He's like, I got to bring home the bacon and the bacon and the bacon and the bacon. You're like, okay. I've seen everything I need to out of the show. I can turn it off now.
That show is good. That is like, I hope that was the last line ever recorded.
Gosh, Aliens, what a great movie.
Wasn't he considered the only guy to die in both Aliens? He was given the award to die in both Aliens and Predator. The only person.
Right.
He had some weird like phony award for it.
Gosh, I wonder what it was like to go see that movie in a movie theater.
I bet it was incredible.
I just think like Back to the Future. Like when you went to see Back to the Future, not knowing what it was, what was that like?
Yeah, like walking in completely.
Or like Jaws. One of my favorite movies.
I feel that way about Star Wars, kind of. Like, I wonder what it was really like to like walk in and be like, "This is the best thing that's ever happened."
Oh gosh,
this is amazing.
That was just mind blowing.
It's like a societal impact, you know.
Shannon is also still here. Thanks for staying.
Holy crap! Thank you.
Man, I am just like, I'm just so glad I'm like drawing things every week. Like I love that Doctor Doom I did last week.
Oh, that was great.
That one is great. Yeah, it's
all about just like sitting and making stuff.
Yes, that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. And talking about diapers and things.
Just checking up. Feel like you're my dad pals. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I got a lot of non-dad pals, and they're great. Sometimes
Dad pals. That sounds like a great sitcom.
It does. Better than my two dads.
They're just dad pals. Do-do-do-do. That'd be my theme song.
I love it. I'm in.
We'd all wink at the camera. And
that moment. Today. You'd have the dad of like the new dad. The dad.
See, like, there's a comic strip right there, right? Yeah. The dad pals.
Dad pals.
Shut up.
Oh, I got another baby. Dad pals.
Riker, I hardly knew her. That's so good. That's money.
It's terrible. I know.
It's just like Prince money. And Picard with a stash. I think I'm going to go acquire more beverage.
There's definitely a joke behind it.
I'll return. Until then, everyone can continue gazing at Spock and Data while I try to think of something else to draw.
I have a joke for Quark, but I have the start of a joke for Quark, but I can't quite figure it out.
I was thinking about stuff from Deep Space Nine. I had like Odo Komodo, like a toilet joke where he morphs into one, you know?
Oh, nice.
But it was, I was just like, that's too much. I hate drawing toilets.
That's a really specific hate.
Well, only because I did the bidets of our lives thing. I was like, wow, this sucks.
It did come out great, though. I feel like that was the killer strip. You've had some killer ones lately. You're just like nailing it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Your server one was actually really badass. That one did pretty well too, though, didn't it?
It did all right. I think it's always one of those things where I'm like, this is the one that ended up on the front page of Reddit, and then it's just like,
Okay. And we're back.
And we're back.
I think that's like one of the things like with Reddit, like every time you anticipate it, every time I've ever like, wow, this is gonna nail it, I never get beyond like 10 votes. Other times I'm like I did a joke about dads who sit down to pee,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
that was great. And then like all of a sudden all these people are like, yeah, man, I pee. Let's talk about peeing. And then everybody wanted to talk about urinating. It was really random.
That is totally random.
It's like a cat chasing a laser pointer on the floor. Just jump after it.
Urinating?
Hey, urine. Yeah, let's talk about urine. Okay, we'll talk about urine for a while.
I have 3 urine comments I wrote based off of yours. I'm just waiting to make them.
Do it.
What am I gonna?
Let them out now.
Let them out. Don't hold them in.
Release the pressure.
There you go.
What am I gonna draw? I have no idea.
I've got a cork joke. I'm gonna try it out on you guys. And you tell me how big it fails.
I was trying to think of something with like Locutus. I'm like, that's such a weird name.
Yeah, man.
I am Locutus of Borg. Or
Okay,
7 or 9. There's got to be something in there.
Alright, I got mine.
The 7 of 9, like, to me the joke is like, that there's who is 8 of 9 and 9 of 9? And it would be like they're prettier sisters, but it's really just like older technology.
Right. When
It's like a cell phone or
old
something.
dot matrix printer.
Yes. Now
You like
she
Windows
is a 10 of
7.
9.
7 of 9. That's the only Voyager stuff I watched was because it was Borg. I just always liked the Borg.
Yeah, the Voyager, honestly, least favorite. Like, it had some storylines, but like I feel like their characters were just not the best.
What are you talking about? They had Amelia Earhart in one of the episodes.
No, that's right. Do you remember the one with Riker in it?
I do not remember the one in Riker.
Hugh shows up and he brings like random ass people, like some historical figure like Napoleon or something. And then out of nowhere it's like Riker. He's like, Hugh, you bastard, where the hell am I? And he's like, oh yeah, the Voyager, you guys disappeared.
Oh, you guys disappeared.
Oh gosh.
We're really trying hard to look for you.
We're really trying to get someone to notice us.
Ratings plummeting. Quick, get Riker. I remember
Beyond belief.
I remember one where they kill Harry, and then they're like, he's dead, but then they run into a parallel universe version of the ship that's under attack, and then that whole ship dies except for Harry, who jumps over to the new universe.
Everything's back to normal.
Yeah, and everything's back to normal. I just gotta think, like, that Harry, like, existing through the days, there's just, like, things that maybe happen slightly different for him.
No. Yeah, he'll be like, hey, do you remember that time we went to? He's like, no.
Like,
remember
the time when we hooked up? Like, no, that never happened. It totally happened in my universe. You said you had a great time. Yeah, right, Harry. And no one ever, like, mentions it again. It's just like one of those things, like, no one mentions it again.
I'm just looking at images of Worf.
Of course you are. There's a Worf dad joke that we should make.
I think, right. His hair is always so perfect. It's like some carefully shaped hair there.
What would be a Klingon? Oh, that's it. It's like a Klingon pun. Just like bad Klingon dad jokes.
So what was it? Alex? Was that his?
Yeah, that was his son's name.
Yeah.
Alexander, his son.
Alexander. It's just begging for something. Man, you guys thought that Michael Dorn just walked in here when I said that. I know. It's strange.
I thought, how did he hack into our stream?
How did that happen? It's pretty.
It's not bad though. Your Schwarzenegger's on point. I'll give you that. I was listening to it the other day. I'm like,
oh boy. Schwarzenegger. Like, everyone tries to do a Schwarzenegger voice, right? It's just one of those things. I'm like, I'll have him combing his hair with the battle axe thing.
There's a joke about, like, Klingon funerals, you know, because they just yell to help the body transport or whatever.
yeah.
There's a joke there. Yeah.
I did a stupid thing. Like, so that scene, I took a screen cap of that, and I put this on Twitter a while back. But instead of the guy's face, I put a bowl of pasta. And like it's just like hard pasta. They're like yelling into the air, you know. I got like some feedback on it. I thought it was hilarious as shit. Nobody cared.
That's the worst. Is when you're like, "This is hilarious to me. This is a tweet that's gonna make me famous."
Yeah, I remember I put it on Reddit. I was like on the Star Trek sub, and some dude called me a bitch, and I was like, okay. Like totally unwarranted. Like I was just trying to laugh, man. You didn't have to go that far.
You're like, wow, that escalated.
Whoa! Someone is not happy about pasta jokes.
How?
Did Nick cut out, or did I?
Might have. That was an interesting.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, never heard anyone go silent treatment mid-sentence before.
All right, I think I got my Picard done.
I like
The
that.
background.
That is good. It's good timing.
Moving on with it.
Oh no.
Oh, there's Wesley's head.
There's my head again. I'm still here. I find the button.
You're like, it's not just a recording of me. I'm actually in here.
Yeah. Sadly,
It's a recording of you laughing and being like, good one. Ha ha ha. How true. I'm just drawing this hasty, crazy-looking Worf.
I feel like I want to do a joke with Tribbles.
That's like just begging for something. I want to do like one more and then call it a night here. I can't think of anything.
Here, let's pitch a Tribble comic. It would be oh God. See, the only thing I could just think of is like a generic Star Trek character in there, like coming into his wife, who's like, "Oh, you're pregnant again," and then there's a bunch of kids in the background. And he's just like, "We're breeding like tribbles over here. What's going on?"
We're in Tribble. We're definitely in some Tribble.
Oh.
He's like buried in tribbles. Well, we're in some tribble now.
Mm-hmm. Or the other joke would be just like,
There's a tribble walking down the hallway. Here comes Tribble.
Here comes Tribble.
Oh, and they're like snapping their fingers, like down the.
They're a gang.
Like they're about to jazz fight.
Total West Side Story.
One time we were doing this thing with my brother. It was like we did this bachelor party for him. He doesn't drink or anything, so we did like a man's party or whatever. And we were doing this thing where we would toss a 25-pound weight as far as we could, and whoever won got the most points or whatever, and then didn't have to pay for anything. But these guys like there's a tennis court next to us, and they hit the tennis ball over, and it comes right near us. And he's like, they're like, sorry about that. And we're like, no problem. So we toss it back, and it hits him again in the head this time. And so he starts snapping his fingers towards him. You know, and we're like, what are you doing? He's like, guys, back me up. And so it took us a minute. We're like, we're not West Side Story in this.
You had a chance to West Side Story some tennis players, and you missed it.
You didn't get
I regret it all. I regret it. It would have been incredible.
Like, I don't know if I'm ready to commit to a dance battle. I just...
Look, dude, I love you, but not that much.
I just don't know.
I'm surprised like Star Trek never really bought in on marketing tribbles.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one thing you could have really bought? I mean, I know they're just like a bunch of cat fur probably glued together. Like in the show.
Right. What's the episode where Deep Space Nine goes back to that the Trouble with Tribbles episode?
Yeah, I do remember that.
And they're all like edited. It was just like when people first figured out that you could like edit old footage and put in new people on and stuff.
Like Cisco gets Kirk to sign a document or something.
Yeah, and then one of them is going to go sleep with his grandmother.
What?
He never knew his grandpa.
That was Futurama, I feel like.
No, it was totally he like sees her and she's like super flirty with him on the thing. And he gets
It's like Back to the Future.
Yeah, he's like, no one knew my grandpa, and you know, like if I don't do this, you know, there's a possibility that I would have never been born. It's like it's weird.
That's crazy because that literally was on Futurama too. You're right. I do remember that. I think it was like Chief O'Brien.
It was the young. He's not the doctor, but he's like the engineering guy. Or he has the green shoulder pads. He has like young brown hair. He looks kind of like Jon Stewart if you were really drunk.
Yeah, he wasn't the hologram doctor, but he seemed like a doctor or something. He was something else.
Yeah.
Wow, doing a Google image search for Tasha Yar brings up some weird stuff.
People are into some weird.
Oh, so she's. So that thing you shared the other day, Nick, that cruise.
Yeah.
She's on that. Denise Crosby. She's. It's like her, Shatner, Riker.
Oh man.
Oh, and like Deanna Troi.
Jonathan Frakes is there, buddy. What was that? Tasha Yar gets killed by like the big green blob, right?
It's a
black blob.
Yeah, it's just like an oil slick.
And he's like pure evil.
Yeah.
It was kind of cheesy, but she just flat out died like first season.
Bam.
Yeah.
They're like, we play for keeps with Star Trek, homie.
I felt like that was what they were trying to intend with it, but then it was like then Tasha Yar keeps showing up in other things.
Yeah.
It's like this is annoying.
I think it's more like her regretting the decision of leaving season one and watching the show blow up, you know.
Yeah, I think it's totally. She was like, I'm gonna go be a real actor somewhere else.
I'm gonna go do Pet Sematary. Fuck all y'all.
I gotta film. This is gonna be my break. Hey, can I come back as like a Romulan thing, or like I can come back as an alternate universe version where I flirt with this guy for half the episode, like, right? And Whoopi Goldberg go like, you're not supposed to be here.
She was in she was also in Dexter. Did you guys ever watch that show?
Yeah.
I did watch
actually the first person that like Dexter kills.
Oh yeah.
And they do a flashback to it.
Oh man. Yeah.
I didn't get that far. I got to the season with John Lithgow.
Well, it's before that. I think.
Well then, I wasn't paying attention.
Like his dad was sick in the hospital, and she replaced with this nurse that was like poisoning him. And so his dad's like, "It's time for you to grow up and kill somebody." So this is the one, you know, Denise Crosby.
Some good parenting. Okay.
So I remember when this show came out, like I was the biggest.
Dude, Whoopi Goldberg was in this show.
Yeah, she was.
How did I forget that?
Oh, Guinan joke. How do we all miss a Guinan
Let's
joke?
say there's got to be something there.
I mean, the obvious one is gynecologist.
It's just out there asking.
It's just asking. I don't know what you make her say.
I mean, that hat. That's
It's just that. Yeah, it's just like
there's something.
legs open, and then the hat sticking out above it.
Oh my gosh!
You're 3 months pregnant.
All you can see is the hat. Oh, I can't draw that. I can't draw that.
It's there. I don't know if it's a good idea.
It is definitely there. A guinea pig wearing a Guinan hat is a Guinan pig?
That's
It's just spelled like guinea. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting late.
You remember that episode she was in with, like, when they go back to meet Mark Twain?
Oh my gosh.
She's alive during that time. She's, like, on Earth, alive.
Mark Twain is there. You asked yourself, is there an episode with Mark Twain? Oh, yeah.
This sci-fi show is great, but you really need more Mark Twain. Oh, good. Success.
I got a fever. The only prescription is more Mark Twain.
I feel like we need some Mark Twain here. Yeah.
All right, here's my dumb quark joke.
I'm pretty pleased with that one.
Truly. Did I tell you guys? We went down to the farmers market here in Greenville, and a guy was like accepting Bitcoin for zucchini.
What?
I was like, you know how much Bitcoin costs? How much is it? Like?
How much is this zucchini, man?
I'm sure it was like 0.0005 Bitcoins for each zucchini or something. But I wasn't gonna stop and be like, yeah, here you go, weirdo.
Look, man, the world government's gonna collapse, and all you'll have is Bitcoin. Alright, I'm going to leave this cork behind. Need to move on.
Nick, is your screen on? You're just kind of done?
I can't think of anything to do. It's just a blank screen.
I'm going to go watch Star Trek.
Yeah, I'm like, now I just kind of want to watch some Star Trek.
What should we call it? Is everybody at
Did a hastily drawn Worf. I wanted to draw one more thing.
Finish my Picard and I'm done. I'm out.
Oh yeah, I haven't looked to see. Is Picard the last thing that you did?
Yeah, yeah.
Ricardo.
Ricardo. It's good.
I think I'm gonna tweet out the data tomorrow.
Oh man.
I think that one can become a single panel if you're like just ever stuck.
That one's so good. So look at that.
That one.
The one up top is the one that I love the most. He's like, huh?
He's just peeking over the top. Love it. I'm pretty pleased with my Data Spock one. That one I felt good about. The Gorf is good too, man. That's just funny.
Both of those are good.
You guys did great ones, man.
That's just funny. What
Your
did I...
Spock hair. I want the Spock hair.
There
magnified and put on a shirt.
Look at that, yeah.
Is that one of those pens from the set you were talking about?
You just want to touch that hair. Yeah, that's one of the gouache ones.
Okay.
If I said that right.
This Spock hair is great.
I also like Picard.
Yeah, that one's really good.
Shut up, Wesley.
He kind of reminds me of Hank Hill's character from Beavis and Butthead.
Right.
Remember, like, before it was King of the Hill? You know,
their neighbor.
Beady eyes.
Their neighbor.
Quit masturbating in my shed.
Quit masturbating in my shed. You boys. I think I like Bad Sweater Wesley the most. I was going to say we have to think of a series of puns with Wesley Crusher, of course.
I did one a while ago that was...
Shut up, Wesley.
Was just Wesley Crusher, and it's just a giant Wesley Crusher, and he just like crushed someone. A terrible joke. Yeah, what else? I don't know who else to do.
Yeah.
I figure you do like the real obvious one is like Dr. Bones, where you just draw him as a skeleton. But yeah, it's just
Damn it, Jim! I'm a skeleton, not a human being capable of
Moving
medical
around.
procedures.
so
Flexing my
long.
arms to grab anything because of muscle loss.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, like, there's got to be something with how they kind of cured death in the last movie, but nothing's coming to mind.
Oh, with the one in Con?
Yeah. Death, not a problem. Get you some con blood. Here we go, Wesley. I'm drawing a skeleton.
There you go. Take it, run with it. Alright, I've got a terrible one. You can go for it.
That guy had the coolest first name, DeForest Kelly.
Yeah.
I thought that was badass. I pitched that to my wife when we were naming the boys. She was like, no.
What?
It's like I can't have someone ask me later where our kid's name come from, and I say Star Trek. I just. She's like, my dear, I just can't walk down that road.
I have kind of an art question for you guys. So I do like a lot of live drawing on my Intuos 3, like I from Wesley of Nameless PCs, namelesspcs.com. I'm obligated to say that, by the way.
Contractually obligated, yes.
Yeah.
As we all are.
So I mean, like, you know how I guess when you're in class, you're in like a drawing class, and they're like move with your arm.
Yes.
You know, kind of move your entire shoulder with it. I'm really just using my wrist because it's not like it's a Cintiq or anything. I love it. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, does that really like hinder you at all? Does that even matter?
Well, I think they teach you to draw with your like whole arm, so you start to get the whole motion to bring it down to something smaller.
Okay.
If that's like, I mean, that was my understanding of the concept.
I just don't want to get like a year into it of doing these dailies. Like, I try and do these every day, like in the morning. And so I don't want to be like a year in and then realize like I've been doing it wrong this entire time and I stunted my growth as an artist.
I don't think you can do anything wrong if you're drawing every day. Like,
yeah.
I think anything you can do wrong, you can learn from, like, or you can readjust.
I still find myself doing more of a focus on the movement, but it's not necessarily my whole arm. It's just, it depends on the size of what I'm drawing.
Yeah.
I find like when I try to like gauge what the cursor's doing instead of what my hand is doing,
Oh yeah,
is when stuff gets shaky, if that makes sense.
No, totally.
So sometimes I get to where I draw really fast and loose just to try to like, I don't know, rattle that stuff out. Here's a skeleton dressed in a classic Star Trek uniform.
He's kind of dancing, like he's about to do the skeleton robot.
He kind of does.
You see it? I do like your dancing skeleton.
Oh shit, I missed it. What'd you say?
Just starting with the damn it, Jim,
Yeah.
It's a classic. Here's the other one he always said, he's dead, Jim.
You could just say, I'm dead, Jim.
That's because I'm dead, Jim.
I'm dead, Jim.
Oh my God, Wesley, that's great.
It's not the right face, but
Yeah.
it's so dumb. It's so just late night drama.
The face, yeah, nailed it. Yeah.
This is awful. Maybe that's it. It's too creepy. It's not like adorable.
I'm gonna flip over here and see what you're doing now.
It's just dumb. It's a terrible dumb joke. Don't even bother.
Have a ping pong ball going into a cup.
That's
His beer pong.
right there. There you go.
Oh my!
Oh my.
Should just think of that in your most flamboyant Takei voice.
Oh my.
Exactly.
He's really funny, like on Twitter and Facebook, you know. Like I follow him, he's hilarious, and he actually helps out comic artists. Like every once in a while, like he'll credit everybody he kind of shares.
Huh.
That is cool. I like his is it his husbands or are they just boyfriends still? Whatever his like yeah, I think it is his husband's tweets are hilarious. Because they're all just like really white wine like type like, oh, when you're late for the elevator and they're just like the most mundane things ever. It's great. It's just like, who thought you needed to tweet this? This is perfect. I feel like I'm sounding like I'm being really mean to him, but it's just a funny, like, this is I don't know. I don't know if this
He's incredibly funny.
Gosh, that unlimited data plan thing is killing me.
It's the best.
That's the best of the puns today, I believe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think my next favorite is the Riker though, the sad trombone.
Yeah, that was so good, man. That was so good. Wah wah.
Just because it fits the character so well.
I might have to make it a comic. It's really like I would make the little trombone part animated GIF.
Oh man.
Oh, how do you do that? By the way, I really have not even tried to venture into that. There's some I've wanted to, but I just kind of gave up because it was late.
So it's not too bad here. I'll open up Photoshop.
Say in Photoshop, it'll like map to your layers if you want. You can have it just map to your layers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can just frame by frame animate it.
Nice.
Might have to change this.
Is there an animation palette? Is that right, Wes?
There is. Here, I'll pull it up. I don't know if you'll be able to see everything.
Because you can like grab a little movie and pop it in there.
Here, let's just do. I'm just gonna do my entire screen. It'll be weird here for a second, but just a second.
Infinity.
Yeah. So whatever you have like this, you have like that palette there.
Yeah.
And you've like Yep. Helps if I choose a color. You've drawn a guy on it. Just a terrible guy. Let me redraw. Here. What you can do is just make like another layer. You can even copy the background layer. Little guy. Now you're on your new layer. Kind of like just scooting him over some. Right, so I have two layers now. One he's in one position and one he's in another. I'm just gonna fill this layer with white here. This part is not as necessary. Where are you coloring? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Okay. Alright, so I got two layers. Yeah. Sweet animation.
Nice.
You go up here to window. There's an animation palette. Maybe it's in view. It should be in window. I'm gonna find it. Timelines. Oh yeah. Sorry. So you'll pull up like this timeline, and then down here in the corner there's that little box guy. Let me click it. Might be on the wrong thing. Oh, sorry. Sometimes you'll get like, so you should get this like little frame animation one. So you might have this one, but there should be the little boxes so that you have frame animation. You see that timeline?
Yeah, yeah.
So then you can put it on forever, and then sometimes there's just so you have another like new palette or new frame.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So there you can put them on how long it holds. So like 0.1, 0.1. So frame 1, and then just unhighlight it on frame 2. I'm just gonna make that. So frame 1 is that, frame 2 is that. And if I play it, whoa!
Oh my god.
There he goes.
And then when you can go up here to export. I always do export, save for the web,
I do too.
and then you can just export it as a GIF.
Nice. Okay. That's cool.
And you'll see the same thing down here, like, can I keep the looping on forever? And you can play to make sure it looks okay. That's how you do animated GIFs, basically.
Nice.
So if you're just moving like your guy, or you're just adding in a second one, Beef Paper does it like so well. Gosh. Beefpaper.com, if you've ever read that comic.
Yeah.
He's a madman at that.
That one's cool.
Madman.
It's just so unique.
Yeah. I just have some sketches. You guys have finished pieces. They're very nice.
Look at the face. You're like, don't trust the face. Don't trust the...
Oh no, don't do that. Turn that off.
You know what's crazy is the guy who played Bones in the new movies, like all of his roles that I've seen in other movies, like he was Éomer in Lord of the Rings. And he was also like in Chronicles of Riddick, like all these crazy movies.
Dread.
Yeah, isn't he Dread? Keith David.
I still haven't seen that yet. I've really been dying to.
Don't get me started on Dread. I just love Dread so much.
Dread was really good.
Oh my gosh.
Take
It's
some
one of
time
my favorite movies.
Wait till everyone goes to sleep.
Maybe I'm going to go watch that when we get off here.
Is it on YouTube? I mean,
I still have Beverage to finish. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta be yanking me, man. All right.
Yeah, homie, you need to watch that. That one's...
Go watch
It's a special thing.
This joke is terrible. I'm kind of ashamed of it.
I've seen it many times. I kind of like that one, actually, Wesley.
Yeah, I think it's pretty funny.
I'm mad at myself for how funny I think it is. I think it's the part that gets me. It's like,
It's funny to me because I can hear his voice saying it. Like, I totally know what you're going for.
yeah.
I can't be the only one out there who would know. Of course, you've got the dynamite I'm dead Jim over here.
Yeah, because I'm Bones.
Because I'm Bones. I just have these memories of watching the original series at my grandparents' house. Like, if we'd stay the night there, we would end up watching Star Trek somehow. That's really the only time I ever watched the original series.
I was watching with my dad because, he's Trekkie, but my grandparents were always into, like, Quantum Leap.
Nice.
Quantum Leap was the best.
We used to watch that as a family.
Shannon says, bye. Thanks for hanging out, Shannon.
Awesome.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you. Very cool.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
It's a nice way to spend a Saturday night. Make some art.
Yeah.
Talk about nerdy dad stuff.
Art might be a strong word for what's happening here.
Or mom stuff. What are you talking about? This is pure poetry right here. Look at this.
I love that. I like the coloring you have on that right now.
I was going to say, for some reason, I really am digging drinking a second Thunder End and messing around. Maybe that's what I always need to do.
Maybe.
Like, look, if I warm up for 2 hours and I get really, really sleepy, I'm going to be good to go.
It's going to be all perfect.
It's going to be amazing. Yeah, these are the art marker ones. It's supposed to kind of mimic the feel of Copic. Is that how you say it? Copic markers.
I think you're right, yeah.
Copic?
Stanley Kubrick markers?
Stanley Kubrick.
Those are really fun to work with, actually.
I saw some of these I got a new sketchbook, as I said I needed to do. And I saw those, and it's like, here's one marker for $7 or whatever. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
They're expensive.
There's really not a lot of art shops here in Greenville. It kind of sucks, actually. Like when I lived in Charlotte, they had Cheap Joe's and these really cool places. In Greenville, it's like Hobby Lobby, and they overcharge everything.
Yeah, that's what we have. There used to be this really cool one downtown. I don't think it's there anymore.
The Plaza.
Plaza, is that still around?
I don't think so.
I don't think it is. I just remember watching this person chase a homeless guy one day outside the Plaza. Fighting with a homeless man in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Plaza.
There's still a few cool ones that just are weirdly around.
Oh, yeah? I don't even know where they are.
Trying to think if I can name one right off the bat, and I can't. So maybe I'm lying.
I just like to think that they're out there somewhere.
They're out there. They're hanging out there. Nashville has to have art stuff, right? Right.
You'd think so. We have every other stupid hipster thing.
Yeah.
Is hipsters, are they still around? Is that still kind of going on?
Yeah.
Oh, there's hipsters.
Oh,
I went to a coffee shop, and I was sitting outside sipping some coffee, as you do.
As you do.
You know, because we're in, the Bible Belt, there's a guy with 1 Corinthians 13 tattooed on his calf. And then there's a guy, like, across from him, like, vaping or whatever.
Oh, no.
Like, with, like, an ornate pipe. I'm like, still very hipster. Still very hipster.
I feel like it's still here, but there's less irony, you know?
Yeah. People are just kind of cool with it or whatever.
Like, they stopped subscribing to that part of the cause.
I'm down with some 1 Corinthians 13, but I don't know if tattooed on my calf is where I'd put it while vaping. I don't know.
You know what's really big here?
Vaping.
There's a lot of big there's a lot of religious bodybuilders here.
Whoa, interesting.
It's a very particular demographic.
Yeah, I know, right? But they like, so they're all natural. I don't know if that's part of it. I think it's just kind of like, don't treat your body like a temple or something. But they're they're all jacked, like so jacked.
Interesting.
But they're really like into kind of like these mega churches that are starting to pop up,
Yeah.
But they all have the same type of thing. You'll see tattoos like on their like of Aramaic or Hebrew lettering.
Yeah, Hebrew tattoo on your wrist or something.
Yeah.
I remember there were some guys that would go around and they'd like break bricks and stuff.
For the Lord.
They were kind of into that, yeah.
Yeah, see, I know what you're talking about.
I'm like, I'm not sure this is what the Benedictine monks had in mind.
That's exactly what they were going for. They were just more mad they couldn't break bricks.
That's more, that's more my school of thought, I think, the Benedictine monks and the breaking bricks with pyro kind of approach. Trying with dads, going deep.
Going deep. That's how you know it's near the end.
Western civilization. Oh man, I think I'm about ready to call this guy. Apparently the sloppier I get, the more I like what I do.
That looseness, there's something about like just being nice and loose that's nice.
Yeah.
Nice and loose is nice, right?
It's nice.
Yeah, totally. It kind of gives it. Merkworks, they do a lot of that. I've seen some of his live draws, and he's really kind of loose with his coloring, and you can kind of tell, you know.
Yeah.
But it works so wonderfully well.
Yeah, he does it really well.
Yeah, there's like an energy to it or something. Like I'm even leaving all the sketch. I didn't even do a cleaned up line art layer. I kind of like that.
Yeah, no, I really like that.
Having
That
this
looks
sketchiness.
Yeah, that's good.
That's like, yeah.
You know what's crazy? At cons, people appreciate that more when you don't erase those lines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In all the cards I've done for people, you know, they're like, draw me this in your style or something. People, I've like more and more, they're just like, hey, leave that in.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
A little appreciation.
I think they're really just there to kind of see it get done. You know, you never like draw around somebody and they look at you like you're a magician.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's what it is for a lot of people. They're just like, I want to see you draw, and that's it, and talk a little bit.
How do you do that? I feel like I can't draw on command like that.
It's not too bad. You just like it's more of a quotation. A lot of times they're like, "Can you draw this?" You're like, "I can kind of do it," or something. The weirdest thing I ever got, I had a it was such a challenge. This guy, and he wouldn't leave my table either. He wanted a Deadpool on the back of Hulk, but instead of dressing him like their normal costumes, they wanted him like Bran and Hodor from Game of Thrones.
Oh gosh.
So like Deadpool was like riding on the back of Hulk. He's like Hodor, you know.
And now I'm officially terrified of ever attempting to do that.
Yeah.
It was pretty intense. I mean, it was a sketch cover too. He wanted me to draw. You know how you see this blank comics?
Oh, the blank comic cover. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's like draw it on that, and it came out well. And I was like really happy. But the whole time I was sitting there like, I hope I don't jack this thing up. So I have to buy a new one for him. But I mean, that was the hardest thing I think I've ever done. A lot of the other times you just kind of like, you know, just wing it, and they're happy just to watch.
Man, one of my favorites to watch is like if you watch some Bill Sienkiewicz on YouTube from like these cons. He'll like his name is spelled really weird, but you say it's Sienkiewicz, I feel all cool. He'll do stuff with like whiteout and everything that, on these sketch covers. It just makes me cringe. I'm just like, how does he have the guts to do that? I would like ruin this thing. And of course, it comes out beautiful.
You just gotta be like, know what you're doing, got like confidence in it.
Just gotta practice a lot, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of cool, doing a monotone color on this. It's fun. So we have Bones, we have Shut Up Wesley, we have Data Spock.
Wes, I like your quirk. It's kind of like you're using coffee to paint it or something.
Yeah, I'm using like a different brush that was like.
I like that. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's cool.
There's a little grittiness to it.
Nice
Yeah.
texture.
I think it's supposed to be like colored pencil thing. It's like an oil chalk thing. What's this?
That's it, man. You
Oil
guys,
chalk.
I like that.
I'm buying that set after I get off here. I'm tired of using round brushes.
Change the world. I need to upload all my like.
I have to say, I really like that pencil brush. It's fun. Because you kind of tilt your stylus, and it's like you're coloring with the side of a pencil.
Oh, cool.
So you can like beef it up to a really big brush size and just like fill it in, and it looks like colored pencil. It's just kind of neat.
Oh, nice.
It's like when you're a kid and you'd fill in your colored pencil to the point that it's like shiny and you can't color anymore. But that doesn't happen digitally. So you can just keep layering crap and messing around. It's fun. There's that one, and it seemed like he had a really good ink brush called like Mr. B Natural or something. That was also pay what you want kind of deal.
Oh, yeah.
So that would be a fun one to mess with too. Look at that. I'm pretty pleased with that guy. This is fun.
Crap, I just realized. So I have Photoshop Elements 9. It says CS5 and up. Would that count?
Oh, I don't know. Elements 9. Yeah, for a long time they were only CS6 and up. But he's been able to get him 5 on some of them, and 4 on some of them, I think.
Oh, really?
We dads, we adopt technology slowly. That's what we do.
Yeah. Well, kids cost money. Kind of thought.
Now I'm just staring at Wesley's cork.
Without the line art, that's cool.
Trying to go back in and add it and see if I could like reverse engineer the cork. I don't know. I'm just playing around now.
How does Manga Studio handle like all the different kind of brush sets?
It does it so you can just like buy all the different ones and then you can just drop them wherever. So like I don't know, it might be easier if I share my actual screen. Won't share entire screen. Share. Sorry about that. But over here you see like, so I just added just these Daub ones. I don't know if that shows up. So yeah. So you can just drag and drop them in there. So these are all ones I've added in. So you have like a pen tool and a paint tool, and you can just make subsets in them.
Nice.
So I just grabbed one of these, this pencil tool, and so there's pastels. So pencil and pastels were already in there, and I could drop them in there, but just to keep it straight, that's the name of the group of the inks and stuff. And so I just added them all in there. I need to go in and add in all my Freedom brushes. I might do that tonight. Not too big.
Okay, just checked it out. These brushes do not work in Elements balls.
Bum.
That sucks.
No good.
Actually, none of his do, apparently.
Come on, Protoshop.
I think, like, when I bought it, I was just kind of like, okay, Elements is cheaper. I'll take it. You know?
Right.
Because it was like, spend $80 or like however many hundred. Or torrent, I guess, but...
We dads. We dads are honest, upstanding people.
We are.
Even the soulless corporations. I'm back on my sloppy wharf. I think I'm about to fall asleep.
Yeah, I'm wiped out.
It's time for bed. Word. This is terrible. Let's see.
We're dads. We draw until we fall asleep.
That's happened so many times. I've seriously fallen asleep on pencils.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet, but I have a feeling that's in my future, guys. I do.
I've done it where I've woken up in front of the tablet and just like in the pen in my other hand. Just like, whoops.
My wife will come over and smack me probably and be like, "Go to bed."
I remember falling asleep on my Bristol pad and having like ink or eraser shavings on my face.
Nice.
Oh, gosh.
That's funny. Well, cool. Man, awesome. So in 2 weeks we'll have to figure out what we're doing next.
Yes.
I can keep doing some Star Trek for a while if I could actually think of material. Because I want to do the fanzine. I want to do it.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
I want to make something and see if some people will buy it.
I think people
We do like a pay what you want thing.
Yeah, totally.
Put it up on Gumroad or something.
I would enjoy that thoroughly. Worf. Okay, well I'm going to tweet out this stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm going to go pass out.
Nice.
Well, you know, go to sleep, not pass out. Dude, this art camp thing looks awesome.
Doesn't it? God, it looks great, man.
I gotta save up some money and do this.
The first 2 videos are up on YouTube, or one of them. No, it's 2 of them.
I gotta watch them. Okay, I'm watching this. I gotta save up and do that thing, because that's
They're
just
each like
cool.
2.5 hours long, too. It's kind of cool.
Gosh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
He has really cool pointers, like on color choices for his painting.
Oh, nice. I'll have to check that out. I'm gonna end this stream here. Let's see here.
Infinity.
Bye, Paxton.
Is there still one person left?
There is still one Paxton.
Yes.
I think it's Paxton.
Cool.
Thank you.
Then I guess we need an outro, right?
Yeah.
Nick, I don't do anything. But draw.
Nick, oh no. I forget I'm like infinitely looping right now.
Yeah, you're.
Well, there's a comic coming soon.
There is a
Join
comic.
Nick Pruitt that you guys can promote for me because I have no friends, but you guys.
We'll do it.
Hey, we'll do it, and then you'll make tons of friends.
Yes, and I'll get rich instantly. Awesome.
Instantly. Yeah, it will happen instantly.
I can have a ceiling just like yours.
There you go. Here, look, you can actually see the background. Here's the office.
Ta-da!
I'm Wesley from NamelessPCs.com. You can find me at NamelessPCs.com or on Twitter at NamelessPC without the S.
I am Stephen McGee, rain.comic.com. You can find me on Twitter on rain.comic. That's my car.
And there's a minivan.
Sweet.
That's a minivan. That's Dad's.
To prove that you're a dad.
I think it's my bread and butter. You know, like kids, and then a car.
Nice.
This is fun, guys. Seriously, 2 weeks from now, we'll have it. We'll have maybe 13 followers. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I think we have 17 subscribers to our channel, so there's that.
17? Oh, that's badass. All right.
Fantastic.
Okay, so hopefully we won't have 13 next interview.
Well, yeah, don't tell me the number because now I'm going to compare. It's like drawing is fun and awesome. We will draw again in 2 weeks.
We'll see you then. Thanks for hanging out. Later, guys.